What to do. Just gonna let people come on in. Come enter the dreamland. Come enter the dreamland. Oh yeah. Not gonna do that forever. Yeah, that's right. Not gonna do it forever. Oh. Oh, Vivá Cortéz! Vivá Cortéz! Fucking Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has won. I'm pretty sure, without a shadow of a doubt, we can say we finally got a fucking win. We gotta win, boys! Fucking gotta win. I mean, you gotta take them where you can get them. You know, you gotta take your victories where you can get them, dude. And if it's just fucking here, then it's here. I mean, never got any with, Alison Hartson or, Paula Jean Swearingen, but fuck. Cortez, man. She is providing liberation. Well, I'm pretty sure at this rate she is going to be the brand new official fucking congresswoman of wherever she's fucking running, and I think in New York. I'm pretty sure she's running in New York, but that's good shit, man. It's good to fucking see that there's progressives winning, man, and notable ones too. I mean, we never got them with Swearingen or Hartson, but hey. We're getting him fucking in. Doesn't matter. Let's listen to Shit-Tard Radio. See what we got going.
It goes against what they're being programmed to hear.
Whoa, what?
Absolutely. So many things in history, so many library books, so many things that you go to the library and read and see that what they're pushing on us now is nothing like what was published, going all the way back to the 1980s.
And the Dewey system.
Oh my god, did they say that libraries are like fucking deep state, like, narrative pusher propagandist machine buildings or some shit? What? What? Oh my god. This is what our radio pushes. How are libraries like fucking like somewhere where like the deep state agenda can like fucking brainwash people? Then like, what? Huh? I beg your pardon, boy, sonny boy. Like what am I? Just gonna let it keep playing, see what other craziness comes up. Oh, I saw that too, by the way. That was hilarious. Tucker Carlson, I like to call him. Not Tucker Carlson, Tucker Carlson. That's what I call him. It's my little inside thing, because, I mean, dude, it's so easy, man. Tucker. Replace the T with the C. Tucker Carlson. You just flip the two words, or to two letters. It works great. At least we get something productive on the radio.
And we've got way more in common than not.
I'm actually finally able to, like, listen to this shit and see if there's something substantive at least. I don't know. I doubt it.
In politics, in the way of humanity and how to be humane. This is where I worry. I worry about this, and I worry about attacks for standing up for humanity, standing up for children, standing up for families, standing up for all the things I thought were values that I was raised with in conservative Utah. I was always the rebel on 9th and 9th, hanging out with all the liberals saying, well, I'm trying to rebel from all that conservative stuff, but when you get older, you find yourself holding on to those social liberal ideas, but you just say to yourself, but there are a lot of conservative things I want to hang on to too, because it means that there's a lot of heart to that.
Oh my god, what? Okay. He's labeling just, like, he's just putting labels over shit, dude. Like, I mean, this guy's, apparently, I guess as a kid, used to rebel with the liberals in Utah, or some shit. and like their social open-mindedness, I guess, but still wants to hold on to some of his conservative roots. Conservatism. It's called being principled, bro. Like, just fucking, like, taking any ideology. You can be a humanist, like, and fucking be like, yo, let's, you know, bring humans up together and still be conservative in some sense. I mean, it's just the different point of your old philosophy, how you go about it. But, that's a word salad, was it not? That just sounded like a word salad to me, honestly. It's just like, okay, just, do you not know that you can be principled and on your own views, whether people agree or not? Like, what? Oh, that's dead. That is a dead lighter. That is dead. I know right-wing millennials down here, and even they are left of most older idiots. Oh, yeah, dude. Like, when it comes to social issues, I think the right-wing millennials nowadays are probably more libertarian-esque than anything else. Like, a lot of them aren't very... Like, when it comes to, like, 60% to 70% of social issues, they're generally on board with most people. They're like, gay marriage, big whoop. Like, marijuana, big whoop. Like, alcohol, big whoop. I mean, they, you know, they don't, I'd say only like 60 or 70, because they probably still hold stigmas like cocaine and are being fucking, like, illegally smuggled here by illegal Mexicans. It's just like, whoa. It's like, okay, hold up. There's some facts behind that could probably be a little bit more open mind, or like more eye-opening, I guess, but no. No. Like, when it comes to economics, most of them are still really stupid, to be honest, but I mean, god damn it. Come on, Red Rocket, there we go. Radio's gone off the right-wing deep end. And best thing is, this guy isn't even fringe. He's not even fringe right either. He's actually more moderate than most on this radio station. We have a guy down here claiming demons are surrounding Trump, and our prayers are all that keep him safe. I guess by demons he means like deep state, and maybe sure, but prayer ain't keeping him away or influencing him. What an idiot, dude. It's crazy that people will just believe crazy. I was on the bus today. I did a lot of errands today. I was on the bus, and I was hearing some dude with the biggest fucking beer belly I've ever seen, with the smallest tank top he could possibly be wearing for his size. The dude was, like, talking about fucking, like, Moses and pharaohs and shit, and how there was, like, and how the Ark of the Covenant was, like, some, like, engine energy technology or some shit. It was like, whoa, dude. I didn't even pay attention. I was listening to, Joe Rogan's talk with Hamilton from Viceland, and I just happened to be overhearing that over them, and I was just like, and I kind of slid a earbud out just kind of get an idea what they're talking about, because I kept hearing some weird shit. I'm like, what the fuck is this dude talking about? And I was just like, okay, I'm putting the earbud back in, I'm listening to this, turn it up. So, I mean, but what I was hearing on that was really cool, dude. Like, our bodies naturally produce DMT, like, in our lungs, and I think it was, like, there's another gland in our body that does, but you can't, like, get a psychoactive, like, effect off of it and shit, because it, you know, it's naturally in you and stuff. But, I mean, and I think there was, like, this fucking, Hamilton was talking about this fucking, what was it? It was like this village in Mexico, I guess, and they're using DMT as, like, literal fuel, like, as an energy, and you could just smell it in the air and everything, and, they didn't even realize that it was psychoactive, these people who were using DMT as essentially energy, but I don't think it actually did any effect, because, from what I was hearing, they, weren't, but they were using that as like a form of energy, which is cool. Like, I mean, seems like DMT just has like a lot of properties that we're just now starting to learn about that are more than just psychoactive, it seems. If it's like a fuel, I mean, imagine if we can fucking tap into that shit and harness it. Like, I have no idea what the consequences or like the positives or negatives of that would be, but I mean, if we're able to, dude, I'd be willing to fucking like check that shit out. I'd be like willing to be like, yo, let's try to invest in some of this and see if this works. But unfortunately, DMT is a Schedule 1 drug, so it limits people on doing research, like with marijuana. But luckily, the states have been doing that, and it's been a great job. It's been turning that ball the other direction, which is good. It's good shit when like we get. I gotta get more fucking butane in that series. But it's good that we're actually getting like shit that's turning around socially. Like, I mean, it's like like 50 years ago, even like 10 or 20 years ago, there's like such a heavy stigma on weed. But now look, like, I mean, you can't go like a mile without, like, even the other day, someone was just chilling at the bus stop and he's like, hey, do you smoke weed? I'm like, yeah, I do. It's like, here, you want a hit? And it's just like that, and, you know, took a hit, and was like, hey, thanks, man. He's like, yeah, cool, enjoy the rest of your day, and we left. I left, he got on the bus, so I was just like, hey, that's great shit. What's up, Joe? What's up, my boy? Trying to refill this thing, because I'm out of butane. There we go. Almost. Finally. I've been smoking weed resin. Oh, damn, dude. I have a little bit on the bottom because the hole for this bowl is fat as fuck, and I cleaned out the bottom of it here, as you can kind of tell, and I used that as like the hole for the bowl. And yes, it does taste like shit. I sympathize with you, dude. I understand that sad feeling, like, wholeheartedly. Like, ugh. Then the smell it brings out in the room just smells like shit, too. Like, just resin in general is just ugh. I mean, sometimes you can get a really crazy high off it, like off resin, but it's just awful, man. I mean, also that is like that shit's obviously damaging to the lungs because that's kind of straight up like marijuana resonated tar shit, basically. I mean, I did a test. I had a pure resin bowl once. And I put a paper towel just right over the, mouth of my bong at the time, and I smoked, and it was like so bleh. I was like, oh god. And after that, I'm just like, I'm not really gonna try to do resin bowls anymore. It was just like, ugh. I mean, when you're out, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. But yeah, man. Oh shit, you're fucking damn. I'm sorry, man. I know how it feels like to fucking lose a pet, but. I mean, nothing can compare to like that day that it happens, man. Like, I was when my fucking first cat died, when I got him when I was like 6, and then he died a little over a year ago when I was 19. Well, actually 18 at the time. Well, no, 19. And he lived a long life, but. Holy shit, man. Like, for at least 2 or 3 days, I was not myself at all, dude. Like, I was secluded, I was very quiet, I just was like this, just drifted in my own head. I mean, it was also my first, like, personal, like, death experience I've also just kind of experienced in general, so I mean, it kind of took a while to kind of, figure out what to do with the emotions and shit. And, I mean, it was tough, dude. I had to bury him the next day, I mean, because he died in, like, the middle of the night. So he had to kind of chill out here for a while, and, I mean, that wasn't really good, but, what can you do? I've lost my cat. I've lost, in my time, a dog, a cat, my turtle, and mini fish. Damn, dude. Yeah, my dad's lost a lot of cats and a couple of other pets, too, I mean, but Scooter, our first cat, was mine first, like, pet death, I guess you can say. My next one will probably be my other cat, Chewy, because I would probably say, I don't know, I don't think she's next in line, but our next little group of cats are all kind of within the same time period of passing. Like, 2 of them are twins. One of them's 2 years younger than the other two, and she was about, I don't know, same ages, in between all that, I don't know. But, she's about 8 years old, so I have at least another decade, or another 8 years to a decade with her. And then, with the other cats, fuck, I don't know their exact ages, but I'd probably say at least, well, obviously one of them's 2 years younger than the other, but, yeah. They're getting kind of aging, though. They're just getting a little lazy and like, man, I'd rather sleep. Even though the youngest one, too, Bandit, is fucking sleeping all the time, too, which is funny. We need to abolish time zones, lol. As much as even I would like to agree with that, I mean, we kind of need them. I mean, just considering that the sun and, like, the fucking earth and how many hours are in a day, I mean, you kind of, unfortunately, can't have it unless, unless it was, like, whatever. Unless we're a very, 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 very small planet. But we're not a very, very small planet. We're, I guess, in comparison to the rest of the cosmos, we probably are. I hate them. What I hate is fucking daylight savings time. Like, do we even really need daylight savings time anymore? Like, even Arizona abolished that shit. Like, for real. Like, in one part of the year, you get to sleep in an hour late. And that kind of throws off the sleeping a little bit. But then another part of the year, you have to wake up an hour early. And it's just like, what the fuck? It's like, really? Lose like an hour's sleep and now my whole schedule's all fucked? It's like, what? Like, is there a way that we can just like have just the farmers deal with fucking like the daylight savings, but everyone else doesn't need to? Like, I'm sure there's a way that can be accomplished. Even without literally changing, like, the hours in the day and shit. Like, I just find daylight savings time to be way worse. Like, if there was anything I'd get rid of, is daylight savings time. But time zones, I mean, I find them a little beneficial unless you're watching someone who's more earlier in time than you. Like you guys. Like, you're all in the South and shit, or in the East Coast, and I'm on the West Coast. That's a negative impact. Unless you're, like, waking up, you know, like England or some shit, and, like, Paul's Ego or some shit, somebody's doing a late-ass live stream or something, then, you know, that works too. But, yeah, for the most part, time zones are a little, like, you know, just, they suck sometimes, but I don't think you could actually straight up, like, abolish that, unfortunately. I mean, like, the only way I could really see that, maybe, is if, you really can't, honestly, just without the fucking earth, you know, I can't think of a way that you could get rid of time zones, honestly. Daylight savings time, I could definitely see it, and I'll push for that. I don't give a fuck. But, with time zones, I don't know. It's finding news like that old whack-a-mole game. Oh, yeah. I think that's also just part on YouTube, too. Because I think there was one stream where one person just showed up instead, and it was, like, empty the most of the time, and I was just kind of having, like, okay, now I have to, like, think of shit to talk about instead of going back and forth, you know, with the chat, which is, you know, how a lot of this gets really good and shit, and very fruitful, but, yeah, or if there's, like, someone else here, but, if it's, like, by myself and no one's popping up, and it's just like, well, let's think of some shit. It's like, what's the first things in my head? But, yeah. I think Russia has, like, 12 or 15 time zones. Well, yeah, I think, almost literally take up a third of the world. At least when it comes to length, or width, or however the fuck you deal with that. Like, that's a lot of distance to cover with all those time zones. You got, Russia's, like, near, like, 3 miles at max away from Alaska. And then it is, like, also in Europe and Asia. Like, Russia has to at least cover 15 time zones, at least. Like, there would be Russians sleeping as it's like the afternoon in Moscow. Like, let's just say that. I mean, that's not crazy. I've watched your old videos and I've been spoiled with live how to get my ignorisms. Just whenever I get more. I mean, a lot of those are also kind of meant to be replayable too, in a way, just because, I mean, it's delving into my personal philosophy and views on shit. I mean, like, or just, you know, kind of bouncing off, you know, what I think about on other people's philosophies, like I did Richard Dawkins and Anthony Bourdain after he died, because I didn't know anything about him, so I thought it'd be an interesting thing to get into. And found out there's, like, a lot of his, you know, his philosophy was a little unique because he used food so much into his worldview. And it kind of opened up, you know, like, hey, you know, in a way food is like that. And it kind of opened up my view with opening up more towards, like, culinary as well. Because, I mean, what better way to, like I bet, like, these fucking summits and shit, and, like, all these, like, the G20 or some shit, if they had, like, a fucking feast, like, they all gathered, had some food first, and then started the meeting, I'm pretty sure people will feel a lot just happier and just more content in general. And they'll be like, alright, well, now we have some good food, we have some talks with everybody, let's do the meeting. But just something I don't have an explanation for. Damn it. I don't know if that was... I feel like YouTube has censored some comments, because even there's comments I've said, yep, I knew it. Yeah, because there's comments I've tried to post, and I guess because I said one... I guess there's, like, something I say, it's just like, yeah, it'll disappear. Like, I'll send a message, and, like, literally as I send it, it'll pop up and disappear. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, what was wrong with what I said? Like, like, most of them, I don't swear, like, I just ask a question or something. Is it, like, because it seems like spam or something? Like, the fuck? Like, on Paul Zigo's last live stream where he was kind of fiddling with his little blobfish and shit, and, you know, shooting shit and stuff, there was he was talking about, like, something that I used to watch as a kid, and I'm like, Mr. Rogers, and, I'm like, well, I wish I had, and I said, not verbatim, but along the lines of, I wish I had Mr. Rogers as a child, but I had, like, Zoom on PBS and Bill Ross, paintings, and that was about it. I mainly watched cartoons. I sent that, and it went through for like a second and disappeared. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I sent it again, copied it this time, and then tried to send it again and did the same thing, and I tried it a third time and it just did it again. It's like, fuck you, YouTube. Do you listen to conspiracies like UFOs or ghosts? I find them entertaining. Ghosts not so much, but UFOs I'm always very interested to check out. Like, because I do believe that there is other life in this universe. Like, whether it be life similar to us or life like bacteria or something, that's debatable. Like, I think there's at least life that's somewhat like bacteria or small multicelled organisms and shit, considering what we're learning right now with, like, Europa, Titan, and all these other different little moons and planets that are either used to or may continue to right now harbor life somewhere on their planets. So I do believe there is life out there in this universe, at least maybe even within our old solar system. So yes, Venom messages don't always appear, and it's weird sometimes you read them, but it does not show. Yeah, I don't get it, dude. I find it stupid. If you can like try to resend what you were saying, maybe it'll pop up again, but like I was saying before, it seems like even that doesn't work. So many abduction stories are terrifying. I haven't really listened to abduction stories. I mainly look at videos and stuff, but I'll have to check out some abduction stories. Trump is proof other organisms live. I think Hillary too, because she's a lizard, isn't she? Isn't she like the proof of the reptilian race? I mean, if she is, then there's indefinite proof. Just look at her. But, yeah, I mean, as I was saying, dude, like, I do believe that there is, but where I draw the line myself is actually at, like, UFO stories and stuff like that. And I only say that because I to me personally, I don't believe they have actually visited Earth, though if sentient life like us, who may be far more advanced than us, have probably at least observed us, should convince Paul to read some of the other more scary accounts. Yeah, maybe. I mean, because I've seen old DP segments where they go into paranormal shit and UFOs and stuff, and there are, like, super skeptical of all of it, which, understandable. And, I mean, when it comes to ghosts, I'm not really as, like, open to that, really. I mean, I'm kind of, like, I kind of float the idea, but I don't really, like, think ghosts are, like, a legit thing. But like I said, I kind of float the idea because it's interesting to at least hear it, you know? But with, like, UFOs, that's more in the realm of plausibility to me, in my opinion. But, yeah, like, I don't think they just have, like, actually straight up visited Earth, like, people, think. But, I mean, they could have. They could have. I mean, there's so many accounts, even from the past, even, that we need, like, that could be taken into consideration, that's just like, it just floats that idea. Kind of like with ghosts and shit. Because, who knows? I mean, who really knows? Like, I don't know if they have, like, thousands of years before, or continuously over time, over different periods, or just observe us from afar, or just within our own orbits and don't realize. I mean, who knows? But if there is, like, UFOs and shit, then that would be a very, I wonder what would be, like, the reason as to why it would have been held away for so long. Maybe just mass hysteria, or just, like, mass panic of, like, it's the end times, or something like that. Thinking, like, Independence Day is gonna happen or something. I don't know. But even if they have observed us, and then we discover that, and we're in there, and then the other aliens are like, well, they found us, so what should we do? I saw you earlier on DFF, but still can't get into his show as much. Well, hey, I mean, I'm an avid fan of DFF. I mean, so you'll definitely be seeing me there a lot for sure. Like, I'll be in the chats for the most part, unless I'm, like, at school or at work. I'll just be listening in live usually. But yeah, for the most part, I'm on there. I mean, hell, like, I'm gonna upgrade my patronage to $10 so I can watch Flash Fried live too. If humanity found a more primitive culture. Yeah, that's, and even then there's, like, we would abuse the hell out of them. I still feel we may have started as aliens many years ago. I mean, there's even that as, like, plausible. I mean, for me, like, that, I mean, if you really kind of think about it, like, in a very like, from the very foundations of Earth and shit, like, where the proteins and, like, all the biomolecular shit, like amino acids and stuff started forming and shit. I mean, where did that all come from originally? It came from comets and asteroids that pounded into the Earth over time as it was forming. So, in a way, life is already by its nature alien. It's just that we've adapted to this planet here to where it's not alien to us anymore. So, in a way that we're in a very, very, like, poetic sense, we are kind of like a seed of, like, an alien life in some sense. And that maybe not literally many years ago, but, like, millennia and billions of years ago. Like, during the foundations of this Earth and shit. But, yeah, like, I mean, that's the main concern about what people have for fucking aliens and shit, is it would be like humanity if we found primitive cultures and abused the fucking hell out of them, and deforested lands, and just genocide their fucking populace, like with Native Americans and shit, and the Aztecs and the Mayans with Cortéz and Columbus at those times. So, I mean, ironically, Vivá Cortéz is the title of this stream, and he got actually slipped in there. But, yeah, like, because that's the main worry, but at the same time, they probably have evolved enough to a more higher thinking, or at least a higher view of the cosmos and shit at this point, that they might not see things like we would, essentially. So, I mean, that's what I kind of love about talking about aliens, because there's different, like, they could be either very peace-faring alien federation of some shit that is trying to unite the galaxy under, like, you know, that we're the Milkwayans or whatever the fuck, and, you know, we're here to try to, you know, make this whole galaxy, you know, prosperous for everything, and for all. Like, I mean, there could be plausibilities that's a thing for the aliens, and that's their main premise of their foundations. Or it could be the Horde. It could be that, too. It could be, like, some hive mind insectoid, you know, unit of some shit that just goes planet to planet and just sucks the life and all the material and resource they can out of it and move on. You know, that's also the premise of Independence Day, too. Those aliens that invaded were doing the same exact reason. And I think that's what the people most fear about it, is that that's probably going to be a plausibility. They'll just, you know, take everything we got and just destroy it all and move on for their own benefits, too. Which, again, kind of goes back to they would abuse us, essentially, seen as we're, like, just nothing but primitives and savages, so why bother? Or it could be the Covenant, too. In a way, too. I mean, that's also just kind of gets in the idea that there's, like a federation or, like, a union of different alien races united, or something even worse than the Flood. Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, who knows, you know? I think that's why these sci-fi games and shit are always very interesting to check out, and even movies and entertainment, because it's such a open thing to delve your mind into. Like, as we know it right now, it is open to your imagination. It really is. Until we actually have, like, an actual idea what other life is out there that is somewhat related to ours, but we're not going to know that in our lifetimes, I don't think, and I don't think it's going to be within the next generation, but probably, like, the next 4 or 5 or 6, depending on if we get our shit together. But, yeah, like, it could be a very long time before we find a life like us. But to find just life in general would be a different story. But I think most people, when they kind of think of life as, like, alien or some shit, they're not thinking of, like, these bacterias that may or may not be at, like, Europa or Titan. They're thinking about something like us. So I don't know if, like, there would be any hysteria for these fucking, you know, life found on Europa or something like that. It would be a really fascinating and amazing achievement by man to fucking be like, hey, there's life over here that's not on our planet. It could be like the Borg. In a way, like, the way I see the Borg a little bit, I don't 6 with those furry ball things from Star Trek. The Tribbles, yeah. I actually have a pillow that might as well be a Tribble. It's like this orange fat thing. But, yeah, Tribbles. Or Caitians or Ferocins from Star Trek as well. I'd actually probably get down with that. It'd probably turn ourselves to the Borg eventually, to be honest. We will probably turn ourselves into... Okay, yeah. You know, I feel like that's kind of where the Borg was founded. Like, for me, I don't know the full, like, backstory of, like, how the Borg became to be, but I know they started in the Delta Quadrant. If we don't reduce the planet to nuclear dust. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's always the factor. Like, a lot of these great ideas for man's future will only happen if we fucking get our shit together and don't nuke everything. I think if we get at least don't nuke everything, that plausibility is still there. I mean, like, and also with climate change, too. I mean, if we actually can try to fucking fix that shit, or at least try to lessen the damage that's already going to be caused, and I think we have a plausibility to, you know, make humanity better and explore the fucking cosmos and shit. But, who knows, like, that's still a coin flip. It just depends if people get their shit together. Whoa. Must be, like, breathing heavily on my bowl because there's fucking shit flying away. What? I'm just flopping shit everywhere because fuck it. I want to see what he's talking about now.
And I wake up one day and I'm told that I don't. I wake up one day and told that I don't care and that I'm supposed to care about these aspects when in reality I thought I always had love in my heart for everybody. And now I have to rethink that.
What? When you rethink that you have what? Oh. I don't even want to get what. Or it could turn out like Dune, which is basically the far-flung future of the Terminator when the Machine Wars AI tech was banned. Damn. I mean, that's like another like doomsday scenarios with AI. Like, if we make like a sentient AI, what are we gonna do with it? Because in that movie Tron, didn't man go to the machine and become one? I think that kind of delves into a transhumanism, essentially, where we don't need our actual biological bodies but to be ourselves, but we can evolve better as machine, basically, which is kind of like an idea of transhumanism. So I think Tron does kind of delve into that a little bit. They'll only give us scraps about AI wars in Dune, so in my head, canon is Terminator's first part of Dune. Hey man, kind of survived and made it to the stars in Dune. Sweet. So hopefully it doesn't end up like Dune, but I mean, at least even there, it's like, hey, we're still making it. We're still trying. Hold up. I need to fucking declock this. Gord damn it. Sounds like Papa Rob's home. After that TNT adventure. I don't know why they're still doing that, to be honest. Oh my god. That's ridiculous. It's like basically me and his son are like the only ones who aren't crippled. It's just like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Like, I don't, like, it's just like, shouldn't we young folk be handling this shit that you're all trying to do? But nope, I guess not. Could be Starship Troopers, where fascism takes us to the stars. Yeah. Militaristic fascism, where we kill bugs and then shove things in their asses for scientific research. Though honestly, though, Starship Troopers is pretty dope as fuck, but it does delve into a crazy, hey, humans became a militaristic fascist society, and now we're fucking, I think it's more likely than Star Trek communism, sadly. I feel like it too. I mean, like, it's kind of the thing about, like, how to quell the military-industrial complex as it is now, Because that's how it would be like if that was never regulated or never taken into consideration. It's like Starship Troopers, basically. Where even in space and shit, we're finding ways to be militaristic and then fucking, take what's ours with force, essentially, instead of, diplomacy or something like that, or just, like, considering alternatives or other different factors and shit, like Star Trek does, essentially. I mean, if we were to, like, get people to change society into something more, at least, like, hey, we're humans, we need to fucking unite and actually, like, do technology research and have, like, our technological golden age where we try to descend to the stars and cosmos and shit, then, I think it'll be possible to get there, but, it's just, it all kind of depends how society wants to change, and unfortunately, it's hard to change society. It really is. Like, individuals can change. Well, Trump's talked about militarizing space now. Oh, he's been saying that for a while with his Space Force. The Space Force! It's just like, it's like, come on. We don't need to militarize space. What are we gonna fight against? Asteroids? Like, we don't need to militarize space for that. We can just launch the nukes we got now into that fucking asteroid and hope it works. Because unfortunately, that's the only option we kind of got right now besides experiments that other spacefaring companies want to try to push forward to not do that, because that's pretty destructive. And who knows if that would even work in the first place, Like, if we had, like, fucking asteroids the size of Manhattan or like New York City as a whole coming our way, it'd be like, well, fuck. Like, I don't know if, like, our nukes will do that. Like, if you launch, like, 1,000 at once, maybe. Or 100 at least. I mean, depending how strong these nukes are, because all these nukes vary from, fucking, like, lethality and, like, how much megatonnage there is. Like, there's some with, like, 5 megatons, or some with, like, 50 megatons and shit. Well, developing an ion cannon and shoving that bastard into space, it might not be a bad idea to destroy asteroids. Damn straight. is stormtroopers. Yeah, stormtroopers come literal things. Hey, luckily, they all miss because they suck at aiming. So, it's all good. But that would be... I have kind of heard about, like, different ion cannons being, like, experimented with to try to, you know, get that technology working. Because that would be really cool as fuck. Yeah, especially have, like, a fat one. And shoving that fat bastard out there in space might not be a bad idea, yeah. I mean, like, one idea I would have is, like, you know, get, like, a fucking rocket or some shit, you know. And then have it be, unless they're fighting Jawas, then they have a better aim than sand people. Yeah, basically. Basically. But yeah, if, like, one idea I think would be good is if we had, like, we launched either a bunch of rockets, like big ones, you know, like the Falcon 9 or larger, and then, inside them is, like, this specific, type of, like, chamber where it's, like, a super rocket booster that gets, like, dug into the asteroid a little bit. Not entirely, just enough. And you get, like, 50 of these fucking things, or, like, 100 of these things at full blast, you know, like, all one area to push the asteroid to the side or something. I mean, that would be a pretty good idea, I think. Or, like, push it towards the sun or something like that and just let it eviscerate in the sun as it gets close. Like, I think that would be probably a good idea. But nuke the moon with the El Bomba. With the El Bomba. I don't know why I said El Bomba. It's the Yellow Bomber. It's the Yellow Bomber. Nothing, yay. Nothing on the radio. I just love it. We only had like 2 snippets, and one of them was like not finding love for humanity because he needs to rethink it. And then one of them was like, what was it again? Like, I don't even know what. Like, I don't even remember at this point. I don't even fucking know. It's just like some weird shit sometimes, dude. It's not bad as Lars Larson. Like, Clyde Lewis is, like I said, moderate in comparison. I don't know what he's talking about now because he delves into a lot of weird conspiracies and a lot of weird things. But Lars is just a whole nother fucking story, dude. Oh my god. Oh, Nelly Nelly. Woo! Oh, are we back? No. Of course not. You're never back. You're never returning. I need to get my daily dose of conservatism in my mind. Radio conservatism. I got like 5 mangoes coming in my food order thanks to you with the deli meats. Sweet, dude. My fucking idea is spreading now. Putting mangoes on a sandwich, hell yeah, dude. I'm gonna do that again. I still got a little bit more meat, so I'll do that probably tonight or maybe tomorrow or something. I have no idea when I'm doing it. Well, still nothing. Oh, so, I mentioned this at the beginning of the stream, but none of you were in here yet. But the reason why I got Vivá Cortéz is, I don't know if anyone knows of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, but she's like been this kind of notable candidate running against Joe Crowley, this corrupt fuck of a human being. I mean, what can you expect? And she actually won. Like, she won the primary. So I just been hearing this news like the last, like, well, before I started stream, I would say like 2 minutes ago, so like 46 minutes ago at this point. So like a little under an hour ago, I started hearing the news. I'm like, fuck yeah, bro. And it's great shit. It's good that we got some positivity going on. Because we don't need more corrupt fucks. We don't need corrupt, faggoty Joe Crowley boys that are like cucking up to, I don't even know what, just corrupt shit. At this point, who just gives a shit? It's corrupt, so fuck them. If you're corrupt, fuck you. We will do a revolution with or without your blood. Preferably without blood. Like, that is like the most final option I will put out on tables. Like, alright, nothing else is working. JFK's quote put in effect. We're doing it. Fuck it. Who gives a shit? But Hasn't gotten there yet. Getting there, but not yet. Not yet. I don't think not yet. I think not. Oh, we're back. We're back. Cool. Let's hear some crazy shit with my fun commentary. Open a few lines. Now we can actually probably understand what the fuck they're talking about. He actually also has a YouTube channel. I could probably share that channel on like the podcasts I watch, because every now and then I watch it on YouTube. He does like 4-hour shows and shit. Notifications can fuck off.
It's getting a big cliche to say that Americans are becoming more divided because
how?
It's obvious. It's saying the obvious. Americans are divided.
Yeah.
Divided on the issue.
Oh yes.
And the answer to this division is to find like minds, find collective ideals.
I was having a slightly bad day. I remember I was doing weeds. Well, neighbor reported me, and I got a code violation and fine today for my outside chair. 100 a day till fixed. Don't you love neighbors? What the fuck? Like, why? Like, what? Why? Because you were doing weeds, or because you had a chair outside? That's just stupid, dude. How do you feel about base delta zero, which is theoretical terms meaning reducing a planet's entire mass to molten lava, done with planetary bombardment? Whoa. Let's have not that happen. That sounds like an awful way to just, like, try to end the world. I mean, at least bring on the nukes as quicker as an option. I was living this. It was an inside living room chair outside. Not allowed here. That's well, fuck that, dude. It's your private goddamn property. Who should give a shit, dude? Wow, that's lame. That's lame, dude. I mean, out here it's private property or personal property or whatever, however you want to call it. And if I wanted to fly like a freaking Confederate flag or some dumb shit, I could. But I choose not to because one, I don't. Well, because one, I don't support that, and two, it's just like, why should I ever be given a fuck? My nice neighbor. Your neighbor sounds nice there, sir. It would be done if humanity ever reached space travel to destroy enemy worlds. Well, fuck that idea. I mean, honestly, that just sounds awful. We shouldn't be just like, let's turn this thing into molten lava, because fuck it. Like, how do we even know if other life supposedly, that might be at least like us, would even be as violent as us? Maybe they're more pacifistic in nature, or just more spiritualistic and, just want to explore cosmos for their more spiritual sense in their relation with it, or something. Who knows? Like, I mean, I feel like that's like the problem with humans right now. It's just we're still so tribal at the moment. Like, we just rather end shit with violence first instead of anything else. I mean, it's just like, can we, like, withhold that option first and see of other alternatives or something? I mean, if it's like some random fucking planet or something like that, of like a more aggressive alien race, let's say, what's to, like, say that we couldn't just avoid them or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, instead of, like, pestering in their space or something like that, or, to stop them from, like, invading us, it's like, hey, don't go into this space, and we won't go into yours, leave us alone. Like, in here, take an imbursement and leave us alone, or something like that, I don't know. Like, I mean, I feel like there's just better options to deal with, like, plausible, aggressive races or some shit, instead of, what was that again, like, base delta zero? Like, nah. Base delta zero would be prohibited under my watch. Maybe they're more cerebral than us, and they look to us like children. Maybe, yeah. My stepdad is a Navy SEAL, has told me crazy shit you read while he was in service. Apparently the military has a bunch of theory scenarios about space already. It doesn't surprise me. I mean, because it's, in a way, we kind of know we're not alone. With how big our galaxy is, and even the universe itself, and as it ever expands, like, there's definitely no way we're, like, the only ones here. So, I mean, there's all you gotta like at least open up to all sorts of crazy different scenarios, however unpractical and unrealistic it seems. I mean, like, because it's still a plausibility to some extent, whether it may never ever happen, but at least it'll be like, hey, well, if we ever get to this time, at least we're able to, like, you know, put theories even from way, way before to kind of help us build up to that. But that just sounds ridiculous. And I don't think the military should be doing, like, space fucking theories. Like, that should... What? But, I mean, they should be going into, like, the science... Like, NASA and shit should be, like, thinking about theories and, like, not fucking, like, administrations and military. Like, what? Worry about our... What the fuck is going on here?
Say something good.
You say something good.
Say something nice.
I am.
Say something that will help.
What?
You know, the press has free speech too.
What?
And look at what their consequences are. Look what they've done. Look what their skewed fact-checking has done. Look what the bias is doing. Look at what they're reporting. Look at how they divide. Look at the...
Because mainstream media is corrupt, your point.
Icky and gooey and smug. That's what they love. For those on
What?
the right, civility is political correctness by a different name, while those on the left...
Is that Glenn Beck? No. Clyde Lewis.
The left uses it to push the resistance, and their extremist henchmen like Antifa use it for their extreme fascist behaviors.
What?
Now, what we all feel...
I don't even know where to start with that.
Incivility is there to preserve the oligarch.
Sounds kind of like him. Well, he's definitely not. I mean, he has this YouTube channel where he uploads his shows up there, too. I'll probably just post it on there, just because every now and then he does have, like, some interesting stuff he talks about, but I have no idea what the fuck he's talking about right now. I generally don't. I'm just like, oh, okay, then. Every time I think of aliens, that old song comes to mind. They coming to take us away. Ha-ha, coming to take us away. Ho-ho, to the funny farm. I hear Henry VIII, thanks to you. Lol. I'm Henry VIII, I am. Henry VIII, I am. I slept with the widow next door. She was married 7 times before. Yeah. And that song's in my head too, don't worry. I had to spread the torture. Okay, sorry, no more. Second verse, same as the first. I'm Henry VIII, I am. Henry VIII, I am. I'm done. Don't worry, I'm not going to continue. Oh my god, that song. It's just such a weird, funny song. There's just like random little songs that... Oh god, I did it. Yeah, you did. Like, there's all sorts of really cool, interesting songs out there. Like, We Can Dance When We Want To. We dance when we want to, when we leave your worries behind. We would dance when we would dance tonight, or something like that. I don't remember the full lyrics, but it's a fun little song. I mean, it's just fun little songs out there that just get in your head. And it's just like, it ain't leaving. It's like this one song, Moscow, that I actually sung, and I need to still see if I can find the fucking recording of it, because that would be really dope to have that. Like, I need to see if I can. The hook is key to good sellable music. Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. Like, if you, like, the intro of a song is, like, the hook of it. And if you can get that good, then for the most part, people are going to continue into the song. Whether it be, like, a very nice, chill, you know, intro, or just like a... or something like that, you know? Just do a pop, you know, anything. Thing is, I can think of scenarios that would justify reducing the world to lava. Would you want to risk space parasites spreading? Well, I mean, there hasn't really been any, like, space parasites and shit so far. I mean, I'm sure there is. But, I mean, it will just have to, I guess, just depend on, if, like, that world has, like, a toxic, like, thing that would actually straight up kill everything, if it, like, exited that planet, and there's examples, because the first ship that went down there is now suddenly dead. Like, I could probably see that, because that life is just, like, this is just some weird, like, bacterial multi-organism life that just sucks, like, it just eats everything, basically, or something like that. Yeah, it's very harmful, dangerous to everything. It took over this whole planet because there used to be other life, we can tell, so this thing is a parasite. We need to just destroy this world, or just at least destroy the life on it. Then maybe I can see that, but it's like a option for, like, wiping a, like, planet or something out, just because of, like, a war or some shit that's being waged, like a galactic war or something like that. That would be like the equivalent of, like, America going to, like to Japan at this point and being like, instead it will be like our side going up to, like, 2 of their planets, just destroying it to nothing, and be like, you're gonna surrender now? Like, we'll just keep doing this until you're nothing. I mean, granted, that's a little bit of, like, hyperbole, because we nuked 2 cities that eventually were able to be rebuilt and get this population back up, and bombing a fucking planet to lava is not the equivalent. But, I mean, you kind of get the idea. I mean, it's just like, we're just going to do something extremely destructive to you, and if you don't surrender, we're just going to keep doing it. You know, it's just like, whoa. It's like, okay, no thank you. I mean, don't destroy us in general, but if it's already happened not once but twice, then, I mean, that would just be even worse, doing it like 2 times over. Oh, well. Damn. Either I, like, breathe on this too much or what, but sometimes, like, fucking leaves are flying out of this thing. Fucking leafy flakes are flying out. Saw DK last stream. Blech, spittle. Saw TK last stream. How's Harley doing? Did he move in yet? No. He's gonna let the lease finish, which is like September or something like that, before he leaves. Oh man, that one's got harsh. Having this over here. Do you want the risk of aliens from aliens spreading? Well, that's even if aliens from aliens exist. If they do, then we're not visiting that planet whatsoever. Again. And we're going to quarantine the people infected or plausibly infected. And if something happens, we're fucking killing it before it gets worse. What I mean by quarantine, I mean get like that ship in like a dock and like isolate it as fuck. Like abandon the dock and just have the ship there. And then just fucking have like a military ship on the corner, just like, if something happens, I'm blowing it up. Like that would like I would make sure, and the people who are not infected, get them out before we blow it up first. And if we have like fucking like transporters like in Star Trek, then that'd just be quick and easy. Like, all right, lock them. All right, that guy's infected. All right, the dude's obviously infected. Chest burst that came out of him. All right, beam these guys up. They're saying they need beamed up. All right, blow it up, guys. Blow it up. That's what I do. Like, ID the threat, quarantine it, isolate it. When it's an obvious threat, just blow it up. Like when you confirm that threat, blow it up. That's the kind of like that would be like my philosophy if something like that were to happen. But and then that just proves to show that we don't go to that planet ever again because it has fucking like aliens and shit from aliens. So for me, I think that just, I mean, it's the risk of just traveling the cosmos and shit. I mean, that's just going to be a risk to take, you know. But Venom, what if way back when we were the alien descendants of aliens? Oh my god, this is getting deep. This is getting deep. Whoa. We can't discriminate. We can't discriminate against our cousins. what about if you don't have transporters? Would you have teams to rescue the people? I would say just fucking nuke it. Well, if that was the case, then, that's the tough call. Because if we don't have, like, the transporters in that sense, then I would say have shuttles on standby for people who are at least, obviously not affected. Like, the crew of the ship would have to ID and isolate the threat within their own ship. Isolate the people who are obviously not affected or opposed threat. And then have them, like, by the shuttle bays and shit where they could just easily get on these ships and get out. And then when you confirm the threat, just fucking take it out and have a memorial for whoever was sacrificed for that situation. I mean, and if it is so widespread and chaotic that, we can't tell who in the ship is infected or not, and they can't even tell, then, what we're just, like, at that point, they would have to try to have a time frame to find who's not and get them out. But if they can't within that time frame, then sorry, but the safety of the rest of our federation overrides this one ship. So a memorial will be made, but I wouldn't say it. But I mean, I'd make they have that time frame, and that's the last communication. If they can't get past it, then oh well. I mean, when it comes to some situation like that, I mean, you would have to take a more authoritarian stance. Because if you have something like the alien where they propagate by infecting the hosts, essentially, and then become a chest burster, and then they fucking are, the alien, and, they are seclusive, and they'll, like, fucking hunt for the food and shit on these ships, then eventually the worlds, too, if they get infected and spread on the world, then for certain situations, I would say I would have to be more authoritarian, and I would say we can't let this happen. We can't, what if an entire planet with a significant portion of the population is already affected and getting worse? Well, with the quarantined areas that, or at least in the areas that are quarantined off from the affected zones, evacuate who you can, and from then on, sacrifice is just, I would say, like, in that sense, you would have to, like, I wouldn't destroy the world because you could still possibly, like, not recycle, but reuse it later down the road in a way. So, I mean, for that, like, there would have to be, I don't know, like, I think if we're, like, this down in the future where we're able to do space travels and shit, I would assume that we have also a capability of having, like, a chemical or like a particular bacteria or a particular virus that can affect certain life and kill it off. Because we're able to genetically modify or at least genetically create our own biological weapon in that sense. So if that was the case, I would have like, like a specific alien species virus to spread on this planet, and whoever's infected is obviously going to die from it, but whoever's not shouldn't be affected. So in that case, I mean, or if they were to get affected or get that egg in them or some shit, it would just die if they got a vaccine of it, because then that virus would take it and kill it. So, and then it'll just dissolve and your fucking body would use it for some shit, I don't know. But I mean, I think if we're this down in the future, I think that should at least be as an option, I think, because we're already able right now to start doing genetic modifications and do gene splicing and shit like that, because we're, like, there's animals trying to bring back, like, the mammoth, the Tasmanian tiger, I know has been experimented with before, too. I mean, we're already have been doing this right now, so far. It's still kind of in the early research stages, but if we're doing that now, then there's definitely, we're going to be able to do that like it's nothing if we're doing space travel and galactic worlds and shit, this is like a scenario. So I would say probably at least help out with the infection problem getting worse, especially if it's like another alien race that's being affected and we're, they have a chance to, be an asset to us in the Federation, or just, another ally within the United Federation, or whatever we got going on at the time. Then I would say, help them out and shit, and try to help with this infection, because, I mean, that should be seen as, like, a problem, not just for us, but for them and where everyone else is. I don't want to egg in my ass. Where's Carl, lol? I don't know where he is. Out of all the people, he is not here today. But, I don't know. I'm surprised he's not here, because I think this would be right up his alley. But, yeah, like another... I think like another option we could plausibly have... I want to beat the banana in your ass. Well, luckily I don't shove bananas in my ass. That's TJ's job. So, it'll be TJ's ass. That will be the banana going up in there. So, you will beat the banana in TJ's ass, not mine. Because I eat bananas. I don't put them up my ass for some... What? Okay, like what is... Like I actually genuinely want to ask him, what is the appeal? What? Like, because... Is it like a green banana because it's still a little firm and shit? Or is it like, you know, just a little yellow banana and it's got a little mush going on? Like, what are you doing? Like, huh? I don't know. We found that out before he's top, man. I'm like 90% top. Yellow banana. See, that's a little mushy. And that has potential to just burst up in your ass, and then you got banana in your ass, like, literally. Like, is that just weird mushiness? Just feel good to him or something? Like, what the fuck? I don't know. I just don't know. I just wouldn't be doing that, though. That's for sure. Like, just no. Just not bananas. Not bananas. Like, it's just not bananas. Just not bananas. No. My dad fired a girl who had rotten tuna up her puss. Why? Banana anima. This boy's perfect for Carl. Lol. Well, luckily, luckily Carl already follows TJ, so they're already a perfect match. They're a perfect match. Because her boyfriend failed to eat it all out of her. Oh. So I guess her boyfriend loved it really fishy then. But, oh my god, she couldn't fucking at least just get the rest of it out? That was that was his kink. Oh my god. Ew, oops, ew. But, oh my god. Ugh. I don't get food fetishes like that, dude. I just don't understand it. Like, I could get maybe like a little bit of whipped cream and shit, you know? Maybe that. Maybe like a nice little cherry dab on top of that. It smelled horrible, apparently. I can imagine. Rotten fish in your puss. God. Ugh. Ugh, that just sounds like... Have any lettuce? I mean, maybe cucumbers, but that's about it. Like, that's like the farthest I would go, and I would say cucumbers because you can just like stick them on your, your nips or something. Or put, I don't know. I mean, cucumbers are good to put it on you anyway if you're like doing one of those fucking things where you got like the green all over your face, whatever that does to you, and you got like the cucumbers in your eyes and shit. I mean, there's a reason why the reason why they're there, because I guess like I don't know. I don't honestly know if that's even true or not, but I mean, cucumbers are good anyway, so. I mean, but like besides like whipped cream or like a cucumber or something like that, what's the appeal? Like, what's the appeal? I just don't understand it. Like, okay then, whatever. You like bananas in your ass. You like eating fish out of a pussy. Okay. Good for you, sir. I'm never doing it. And I'm not letting you do it. Oh my lord. Very interesting. It's very interesting what people have as kinks. He liked his pussy to be fishy. Yeah. Whipped cream and chocolate sauce. Yeah, like, even chocolate sauce, maybe a little bit, but besides that, like, I mean, I just want to go that, like, even then, it's like a little, meh. I mean, it's not, like, my thing, but, you know, it'd be fun, you know, for, like, a little whipped cream with, like, a little chocolate dab on there or whatever, you know. That'd be cute, you know, do a little, you know, like a little titty suckling with a little whipped cream on there. Hell yeah, that'd be alright. But bananas or fishy food or like meats or any other fruits or anything else, no. Like, not even cheese cream, hell no. Like, why? Why, people? Why are y'all interested in these weird kinks? And I'm gonna go grab more drink. I'm gonna grab more tea, and I'll be right back. Ugh! More tea for thee. More tea for thee. And I'm back. I am back. Ugh. Oh wait, I forgot one fucking thing. Over here. I had to just make sure my fucking bike was parked where it was. Until I remembered, I was like, oh, did I park it? But, yeah. Well, fucking Robert's home, so that's good. That's some good shit. He might come in here later. Actually, just in case, I'm putting the fucking stool over here, or over there, over here. So, if I have to move, that's not a big deal. There we go. Like more tea, more ice, and more weed. Hopefully this doesn't fucking kill me like it did earlier. Just look, big resin rip. My lungs are on fire. Oh. Yeah, this last hit I just hit was, I don't know if I held it on a little too long or what. Maybe it's just the water or something, but it got my throat a little bit. I'll admit that. My throat was not the most up to healthy standards after that. Definitely did not feel good, but I mean, it didn't kill me, so I'm good. I don't really like cough anymore, honestly. When I like get like a bad hit, I'm just like like that. Like I don't really do coughing that much. So oh, I just remembered. Speaking of which, I feel so bad for you too. Aw. Well, oh, whatever. I mean, hey, at least, alright. But actually, I do have something to show because that we are one step closer to the show. I'll actually be right back to go grab those really quick. Hold on. Right, laddies. So here, I got a dirty bomb. I'm just kidding, it's not a dirty bomb. I wish it was the dirty bomb. But it's fucking Mike's. So we're one step closer away. The audio fish should be here like this week or beginning of next week. I'm not exactly too sure. But at least those are fucking here. So good shit. Now I just need mic stands. I just realized because these I'm gonna have cords, so with the interface it comes with 4 cords, so I at least have a spare one in case the other one fucks up. But I can't really do much with this. Like like, how am I gonna, like, okay, hold up, let me get this fucking thing on here. How am I getting this on here? What the hell? Well, what the fuck? Okay, well, now I haven't fiddle with it that much, so now I'm trying to figure out how to get this fucking thing in here. There we go. Okay, so... yeah, how am I gonna, like... I can't just, like, let it sit there. It's just gonna flop. I mean, just... yeah, so I need a stand. I'm gonna get stands. That'll be, like, one of the last things I probably will get, but... It probably, depending on what I can get at the time. Like, it just kind of depends what funds I got going on and what I can get. But at least I got the main chunk of the start of what I need to get going out of the way. Now I can start just worrying more about getting at least 2 more webcams. And then at least 3 stands, maybe 4. In case we want, like, a big one to put, like, you know, in between somebody or something like that. Or if we need, like, a 4th person to come on or something like that. What else? Either, if I can save money, I'll see if my laptop can get upgraded, and if not, then I'll just get another PC or upgrade one of our old PCs that we got, and go from there. But, yeah, but if I can actually get, when I get the interface set up and shit and everything else, if I can actually get at least maybe something basic started, doing streams like this on my computer, maybe that'll at least, you know, get progress going a little bit to at least kind of show where we can start going, at least for what the platform is going to look like. Like, because I don't know how I want, like, the platform to look, because I know I'm going to have, like, myself in the corner. Like, I know at least what I want is, like, all 4 of us, or at least, like, 4 little, you know, marks for cams and shit, or at least 3, for sure, on the side. I don't know which side. I think probably on the left side, and then from there I'm going to at least have, like, a big screen where everything's showing for everybody, and then down below will probably be, like, one half of it will be, like, chat popping up, and then the other half would most likely just be, like, where to go for social media links or some shit, or, like, where to submit stuff for us to look at. Like, that'll be the second part of it, and also, like, donations, Patreon, all that stuff. Well, the Soviet had a special type of infantry called Category C units, which are a mix of reservists and active army personnel. A DFF setup look? Not entirely. I'm like, kind of, if you know what the drunken peasants are, I would say, like, the way it's going to look like will probably look more like their, like, platform look than DFF is. But depending on, like, what we're going to be doing, like, if we're doing, like, informal shit like this, it'll probably be more aligned towards a DFF look, where it's just, like, me, and then one friend's down below, and chat's on one fat side. That's about it. I guess that's more of the ideology look, but, I mean, yeah, the Soviets also had an entire army branch dedicated to anti-air and interception. Didn't most, armies have that, like a branch dedicated for anti-aircraft and interception of, like, aircraft and shit like that? Or am I just mistaken? Because I know there was, like, anti-aircraft regiments where they're like, okay, we're here to take out fucking aircraft and defend a garrison or something like that. Like, I don't know, I guess I could be wrong. Like, I mean, when it comes to, like, specific military like, details and shit, and, like, how an army actually, like, performed for, like, No, most military give their anti-air power to their Air Force. Ah, okay. Well, I mean, that makes sense because, I mean, Air Force, I mean, also should include a little bit of anti-air as well. I mean, it should. I wouldn't say it should be directly all on the Air Force, but I would say that, you know, a branch towards anti-air and also just like anti-tank and what else? I think like I guess just anti-air. Yeah. I mean, it's because that's kind of definitely an important thing if you're like, you know, when it comes to the military, especially back in the older days when aircraft were so prevalent. I mean, nowadays you got drones and fucking people can be across the world operating the fucking thing. This is just like, well, okay, whatever. But I mean, yeah, like I didn't know that though. I didn't know that the Soviets actually had a specific branch dedicated to it. Most U.S. Army gives most of its AAA to the Army instead of the Air Force. Yeah, okay, that makes a little more sense to me now, because I know the U.S. Army had like anti-aircraft divisions within their battalions and stuff, but not like, okay, that makes sense now. Okay, I thought it was just I don't know. I guess something in my house, like there's like a specific branch for everything, like a branch of armor, a branch of motorized mech. I don't know. I guess I was playing too much Hearts of Iron 4, where everything's actually kind of set up like that. Seems Air Force is more of an offensive strike as opposed to defense. Yeah, nowadays it is for sure. I mean, back when flight was becoming a new innovative thing, most people weren't really thinking, oh, we can use these to go, you know, fucking destroy everything. I mean, bombers were a thing, so I mean, that was definitely an idea. But I mean, for the most part, people were like, let's have these things so when people do that, we don't need to fucking, get bombed and shit. Because that's how conventional warfare was at the time. You pummel fucking shit with bombs and artillery and men and overrun it. But drones are changing everything. It is, dude. Like, the way warfare was back then is not going to be the way it is now. Like, the way warfare is now is just so fucking technologically advanced and shit. It's just like, whoa. It kind of takes a step back because a lot of military strategies aren't really going to work that much anymore today than before. So, like, with drones, I mean, if that goes down, well, you just make another. You just make another. No life was lost, so whatever. I mean, and then you don't have to worry about, like, the human sacrifice of it, so you can just build however many you want, launch them all as many as you want, and whatever falls out of the sky, just replace it, essentially. And then, and then there's also just high-altitude bombings where, people are not going to be aware that shit's happening until it's way too late. I mean, that started to become a prevalent thing in World War II, but at least then, even with radar, I mean, we got stealth bombers and shit. We could do stealth bomb raids like, we were doing to fucking, Berlin, 1944 and 1945 and shit and everything. Disposable, yeah. Either disposable or stealthy as fuck, so we don't, so the risk of losing it is very improbable. Essentially, like how warfare will be, and like troops will, I would say, rarely ever be used besides to take actual territory, and even then, accuracy and precision will be the biggest factor. So, firefights in urban areas will not be like intense and chaotic as they were before. It's like room by room, and boop boop, and you're done. Basically, now guns don't go boop boop, but you get my point. Like, I mean, they're just gonna be like, oh, precision. It got like the fucking goggles and shit, that give you like where you're actually gonna literally aim and shit because you have like a laser sight on your fucking gun that cooperates with that, and no one else has to see it. So it could be like, oh, headshot, boom. All right, you're done. Oh, boom, you're done. It's like that quick. I mean, we're getting to that type of thing. Got a lot more here. The Soviets relied less on aircraft and more on tank rushes preceded by heavy artillery strikes, where NATO preferred to do the same with surgical strikes since greater force the AAA was given by the Soviets, while we focused more on anti-tank type weapons to stem the horde of the red armor. Yeah, dude. Like, fucking, the one thing we were, like, especially noticing near the end of that war was we were like, whoa, there's a lot of fucking people and a lot of fucking tanks that Russia's just chugging at Germany and fucking Hungary and all these other places that, are on the axis. It's just like, whoa. It's like, okay, that's a threat. We should put priorities on technology, how to deal with that the best way possible, because I don't blame them. I mean, there was fucking generals who were saying, and like the war should have kept going and just kept pushing forward, because there's going to be no way that the world's going to be all great and everything, which honestly, let's be honest, it really wasn't, and it isn't. With the Soviets still there having an influence over half of Europe. I swear a lot of future wars will be on internet strikes. That's why North Korea and China are working on it hard. That too. I mean, there's also that as well. Like, governments will be implementing viruses into internets of other countries and then I'll fuck not only the governmental system up, but just people's everyday lives, and that's going to cause chaos and turmoil and protests. Like, what the fuck is going on? You know, fuck you, government. Stop, you know, stop this war and nonsense. You know, it's meant to cause a lot of chaos. Is essentially what I'm saying. It's gonna be like riots, fucking protests, strikes, and shit. Because especially with the internet, we rely on that a lot. So if if there's already been attacks and shit before, then we can only just imagine what the government any government could possibly do in a scenario where internet war is essentially a literal thing, literal thing. Fucking like slopping my words every now and then. God damn it! The cannabis is too hard. It's never hard enough for me. Oh, cynicalism.
I wish that I wish that somewhere we could find his heart, because I can tell you now,
his heart? It's called his chest.
He just sees it as liberal hatred. He just sees it as the liberals are against him. But there are plenty of people, I'm sure, that are behind him that have some misgivings about some of the things that he's done.
Who?
And wonder when he's going to say, you know what, guys, we've had enough of the fighting, we've had enough of the problems. Let's kind of get together and figure this out. I know Trump has it in him to do that.
Oh my God, Trump does not have any of that in him to do any of that. What the fuck? Quit giving him credit where he doesn't need it, dude. He's not he's not this warm, gentle-hearted man. He's a fucking con artist businessman. That's what the fuck he is. Like, what fucking nonsense is that? Nonsense, man. If someone just gives him the slightest insult, he just goes all out back. And whenever someone gives him the slightest compliment, he just goes all out back to him, too. With, fucking complimentary, because he's emotional. He's a child. He doesn't have this fucking warm compassion in him. What fucking nonsense is that? Oh my God. Ugh. See, this is when I get ranty with him. But there's been times where he's, said shit that I can agree with, but this is not one of them. That's at least why I like listening to him, because it keeps it interesting. But what the fuck? That is bullshit. There he is, does not have it in him. It's an impulsive, narcissistic, egotistical man-child.
You're the man. Thank you for calling the show.
Yeah, put a mic and camera on him, Trump's good. Yeah, because he just shoots off the cuff. He just doesn't give a shit. He's like, tremendous, bigly, huge, China. Tremendous, sad, fake news. That's basically what he's doing, just shooting off the cuff, just saying shit. But oh my God, that was some bullshit. That was just that was frustrating to listen to. Oh my God, that was just a very poor excuse to give him, man. Everyone knows the dude's a piece of shit. Even people that like him's like, yeah, well, he's an asshole, but I can agree with him at least, because I know he's fine for me, even though he's not. But at least, I can at least have a little bit more credit when there's the guy's a dick, I get it, but once that happens, the respect goes away, because at least they can recognize the dude's a jackass. But I guess that's not enough, to say. Apparently the CIA tried to do psychic experiments. I've heard that too. I don't know. I don't know too much about it, but I know they were doing research with LSD and shit. Because I think LSD was the man who stared at goats was a real project. Huh. Yeah, I think once the show starts, but we would have to get into a lot of these really interesting conspiracies and shit like that. That would be really interesting to check out for sure. There's all sorts of stuff that we can look into and be like, whoa, look at that, whoa. Speaking of looking at, I'm gonna wash my bong out, but here you can have the all-seeing eye. Stare at my all-seeing eye, good sir. There you go. It's loaded. So don't have a staring contest to see if it works. Luckily the sink's just right there. Whoa ho ho! Woo, mama boy. It did not fall, but damn was that nearly bad. That could have been bad. Woo, that would have been bad. Ew. Oh God, that's gross. That's gross. god, this... I need a screen, dude. Alright. Alright. I saw a comment in the background. There we go. What was that? What was said? First we get the finger, now the eye. At least it... Aw, tits! Well, that happened. Your fly is open. I saw your pecker. Excuse me, sir. It is zipped firmly. It is zipped. And I dropped it anyway. Like, at the very end, I just drop it anyway. So now I need to fucking hold on. I need to fucking hold on. There is no pecker that is open, good sir. You are just spreading fake news. Damn it. Wait. Rewind. Nah, nope. It is firmly sealed. I firmly sealed in my pecker. I firmly sealed, but not like a chastity, because I am not about that, at least. At least I'm not about that. Reported for nudity. There is none. Fake news. There was none. Alright, I got my bowl again, but now I need to, now I just gotta dump it back on here. Fuck it. Whatever. At least it didn't fall on the floor. Then it just wouldn't be saved. It's just gone. Gone. It went into the oblivion of the concrete. But, nope. It didn't, so we're good. That was ridiculous. I'm like, it almost did as I left, but as I come back, it does it anyway. It's just like, can karma just really not do that to me, please? Can you just not do that to me, like, like, really? God, now I'm, like, getting paranoid. Holy fuck. Do a fart, ignore. I don't know if I can.
You know, Donald Trump can just silence all of kind of being a little bit more empathetic to it all. He doesn't seem to have empathy, and I think that's the problem. I think if he showed a little bit more...
Because he can't, he's not compatible, he can't fathom up empathy.
People who have worked with Donald Trump in the past.
Does he not know that?
He does have, you know, he comes off as being an Ebenezer Scrooge type guy, but
because he is.
Really get to know him. He can be generous, he can be kind, he can be empathetic, but he's just
no, he's not.
He's just untouchable, and you can't reach him. It's almost like, do you have a heart, Tin Man? Really? Let us know. You know?
He doesn't have a heart. He's just Tin Man without a heart. He never will get it. It's like the Tin Man if he realized that the healthcare couldn't give him a heart. Because it's America. And he can't get a fucking heart in America.
Learn how to pick your battle. Well, so does he. I think he does too. I mean, you know, that's the thing is that sometimes I've read some of his tweets and I shake my head and I'm like going, you know, you're not winning over people by saying that right now. You're not doing your best.
Because he's an impulsive fuck.
Someone who has to be strong so far.
Well, like I said earlier,
because he's an impulsive man-child, and he's not capable of, you know, fucking, you know, reserving his words and finding out what's best to say.
I mean, Bush kind of grew up here.
Oh my lord. Oh, he is. Huh? Yeah, I had this out because I knew eventually you were going to come out here. Now I need to move my mics. Move this really quick. There we go. Ugh. Ugh. Here we go. Oh my god. Oh my lord, you can't even see through that. It still needs cleaning. Needs like an alcohol cleaning at this point. You cold? Cold? Oh, just tired. I am too. I had reported for illegal drug use. Everything I'm using is legal. Everything! It's legal in this state. I don't have to do this. every time I freaking load up. Unlike Paul, unfortunately he has to. I feel bad for him. Because he could technically get penalized, but I don't think I can. But
where's the trash at?
Oh, it's right here, yeah. I'll just put it right here like where it was earlier.
Whoop. I need to empty it.
I know, yeah, I'll empty it later. That is getting ridiculous. Oh my lord. Like, even the bag is, like, starting to seep in. Like when... No. I mean, I don't think...
These things right here, can you put in the...
Oh, recycle? Yeah, that's right. I put the other one in recycling, but I haven't put those in there yet. But yeah. We were talking about like crazy scenarios of like what ifs on like aliens and like galactic scenarios of like what if like there's like, you know, the Alien, right? Like Alien and, you know, all that, like the movies, right? Like there were scenarios like what if there's like a world that's like getting worse with this infection of like some alien like virus that like propagates in people by laying eggs in it and shit. And I mean, there was a lot of crazy different scenarios that we were getting into, dude. Like, there's like this literal thing the military has called, I think, Beta Delta Zero or something like that, and it's just like you basically bomb the planet to such submission it's all molten lava. It's just like you just destroy the planet, return it to its primitive foundational form. It's like, what the flip? Like, oh my god. It's like, why?
Really?
Did you know that the Russian army has only enough people to man 1/4 of the leftover Soviet tanks? Huh. Because there's so many Soviet tanks that, you know, 3/4 of them won't even be used. Well, hey, at least they don't have to spend money replacing them because they're already there to be ready to go.
Right.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, unless they're rotting away in the Arizona desert like a lot of our tanks are. On top of the tanks they have as part of their army. Oh, yeah, and, you know, they're also making upgrades too. So, I mean, honestly, if there was like a theoretical war with Russia, I can guarantee you that we would be seeing a lot of Soviet Cold War era equipment and military gear used out in the field. Like, the more deeper we get pushed into Russia, for example, or just the more men they just lob at us, the more likely they're just going to be sending, like, T-34s and, like, IS-4s and shit instead of, like, T-95s or something like that. And then instead of having, like, AK-12s or, like, AK-107s or some shit, they're going to have just, like, AKMs and, like, Soviet AKs and stuff. Or, like, PPSH submachine guns and shit. It wouldn't surprise me if they still use some of those weapons. I mean, I think the Mosin Nagant and the SKS are still, like, ceremoniously used.
Huh.
Yeah, I mean, because the Mosin Nagant is, like, a 100-year-old weapon, but even paramilitary groups and guerrilla armies in various parts of the world still use that weapon. I think some militaries still use it, too. I don't know if Russians still use it, but it's just... Because it's just such a reliable weapon. I mean... because the Russians just make things idiot-proof. I mean, serious. Like, simplicity is sometimes the best way. I mean, like with guns like the Mosin Nagant and the SKS and the AK. I mean, they're all just basically the most simple as it could be. I mean, the way to like clean it, it's like you just take the top of the back off of an AK, and then you got the guts of all of it basically, and you can take it apart from there. I mean, it's not that hard of a weapon to maintain and stuff because it's idiot-proof. If you were left out for 20 years, would you still work? Probably not. Yeah, like, I mean, if they're left to the elements, then, yeah, they're not going to really work. They would be, like, rusted, old, probably unable to start. Like, if they were kept in warehouses, then they could probably work.
Mm-hmm.
In the collapse of the Soviet Union, apparently a couple dozen Soviet nukes went missing. And I would not be surprised if they're just... abandoned somewhere and just no one knows where they went, or some organization or mafia group has it. Like, I actually, like, because of that, they are probably just lost in the middle of some Russian forest or Kazakhstani forest or some shit, or some mafia organization, like a terror group, probably has it, and they're just not using it because they're waiting for the right time or something. I mean, I don't know. But, I mean, if they're missing, then they're out there somewhere. Or they were just destroyed over the elements or something like that. I don't know. Who knows? Those whereabouts of those nukes? Unfortunately, they may show up someday. Someday. I mean, there's things that go missing forever, but even, like, for thousands of years, but then we discover and it's like, whoa. It's like, this is what the people were talking about from 1,000 years ago when it was lost. We found it. I mean, Atlantis is a thing that, you know, we've yet to discover, or at least there's theories of where it could be.
Right.
Because people, I think isn't there actual evidence that Atlantis was a thing?
No,
yeah.
And you went out probably out somewhere on the
yeah,
wall somewhere.
yeah, I do remember. Yeah, I do remember that. I think there is actual evidence that Atlantis was a thing, but it's just not existent at the moment. And I think the best plausible thing that happened to Atlantis, it was on an island or a volcanic island, and then over time it either got flooded up or flooded over due to like some rising sea levels during its time, or the volcano blew up and it went with it.
Really?
Some of those records were never found. Ah, okay. That was probably due to this one. The Soviets keep everything as paper record instead of keeping digital records like we're starting to do at the time. So some of those records were never found. Yeah, I mean, in a way, like, I think it's probably better to have, like, paper or, like, old floppy disks for keys for, like, nuclear weapons and shit, or just papers to keep records, because there's, like, a physical copy. Like, what if, like, an EMP or some shit blows up? All those records that you kept on a digital file are now gone. You can't get that back unless you find a way to subvert the EMP, you know, shutout shortage or whatever, but at that point, you know, it's like, what's the... I mean, it's going to take forever, or, I mean, who knows how long. Because the EMP will just fry the electric grid, so it's going to fry your fucking computer, so your shit's gone. So, I mean, I think it's better to keep, like, the most important of records on paper, honestly. Some weird rich guy has a nuke with his paintings to look at it, and Barrage in Europe, or Barrage in Europe. Why does he have a nuke? I'm sure some of those nukes are still in abandoned silos. Oh, I bet, dude. And I bet, like, some people will stumble upon these silos and be like, oh, there's a nuke in here. Be like, oh, hello, nuke. You've been in here for 20 years now? Oh. Well, I should probably report you to the government. Get my reimbursements. Probably not. The Soviets would be like, no, comrade. No, this secret. You don't know this happened. Here, get the memory check. You know, do like the Men in Black Flash thing and just erase your memory of it.
Lower 70s. Man, it's been cold. It's been cold. That wind and everything else.
Oh, yeah, the wind's been naturally nice today.
Nice?
Well, maybe not over there, but at least, I've been on the trail, then I went down to Southeast Division to go to the school to try to deal with some financial stuff, but it was closed, so it was like, well, that was a waste, but, and it was really windy, but it was pretty nice, though. I mean, it wasn't, like, cold. I mean, it was, like, a very nice temperate day to me, so, I don't know. I mean, I was also riding my bike a lot, so I was exerting energy. I'd be like, how can I sell this to America? For real, dude. I'd be like, I see abandoned nuke inside. How do I sell to America? I better check Dark Web. There's an American profiteer who don't want this. Oh my god. It wouldn't surprise me if there's like anonymous figures who like straight up do like, who like work with CIA on the dark web and like do trade deals with like fucking terrorists or some shit. Dark web is like I never been there, but I heard it's a crazy place. You probably see more T-72s than T-34s. It's 66 here now, but by Sunday 102. Ugh. I just don't like that weather. Ugh.
Where are they at?
Joe Malloy here is in Philly, and Venom is in Alabama.
Yeah, Alabama gets heat.
Alabama
gets heat, yeah.
I have another one's from South Carolina, and there's a couple other people I don't even know where they're from. but you can buy anything on the dark web. Yeah, if you want to just get a kidney from some random poor dude who didn't expect to have his kidney lost, you can. If you wanted to buy a human brain, you could. If you wanted to buy a nuke, you probably could get that. There's probably very few of them on there, but you probably. Or a dirty bomb of, like, someone making their own. You can buy, like, an army of guns for, like, your paramilitary foundational group you're starting or something.
How do you get on the dark web?
There's ways you can get on it. There's, but be careful, CP is very prevalent. It's disgusting. Oh, child porn. Yeah, the dark web has a lot of very illegal shit. Onion. Yeah, cause there's things called Onion or Tor, which is like browsers that allow you to go on the dark web.
Huh.
But also I think it scrambles your IP address too, or VPN. I don't know what it does specifically. I think but I think that's a thing you can do to kind of keep you anonymous, because also people, if you piss the wrong person off or just look at someone funny on the dark web, they will like not play. They will. It's not like some internet edgelord, saying "fuck you, fag," if you did that on the dark web, you're probably gonna get like a hitman on you, because you can get that. You can get that on the dark web. You can hire a hitman to murder somebody. Like, I mean, yeah, dark web. You can do any. I mean, it's like the literal Wild West online.
I don't want to kill.
I mean, I'm sure there's so many different like people that hitmen will like be like, we're open to trying to do celebrities, open to doing prevalent figures, open to doing like or whatever. But I mean, yeah, like I just have never been there. I've had friends who have, and I'm just like, nah, I think I'll not go there. It sounds just crazy, and also I just feel like I would do something not right or mess up or something, and something happens to me, and it's like, oh, nope. My friend of mine got arrested for trying to buy coke on the dark web. Why would you buy it on the dark web when you can just buy it somewhere in town, or just find somebody? Like, if I could, honestly, I could get coke from a friend right now. I know somebody who knows somebody who has coke. But I don't do coke, so I'm not going to. And I don't want to, because the idea of just snorting shit alone is just like, I just hate that. I just hate that feeling. I hate that idea. It's just, no. It's not going to happen.
I'd rather drink coke.
I'd rather drink it, honestly, if that were the case. Like, mix it in a drink, because at least I'm not snorting it and you get the same effect. Because it's easier to find meth than coke here. Way easier. I know it's way easier because it's Alabama. There's like a meth lab every block. I like Pepsi. And I like Dr. Peppers. Actually, I learned that Pepsi actually came from an actual tonic to help with stomach pains and stuff. Because at the time, it was actually used like an elixir that had pepsin in it.
Huh.
Yeah, it was called pepsin. And then, but because it was such a really good flavored elixir, they decided to just commercialize it as just a beverage to have, and Pepsi became a thing. Yeah. I learned that in a biology class, out of all places, because Coca-Cola had cocaine in it. Hence Coca. Hence Coke. Yep, that one's the famous one. Everyone knew. I think everyone knows about the Coke one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that one's the most famous of them all.
I bet you can't do it like that anymore.
Yeah, like people say, yeah, I'm sure there's people that like will buy like bulks of like Coca-Cola, and didn't actually try to make it the way they probably used to, but there's just no way. If it was, if all drugs were like legalized, you could probably actually bring that recipe back, like legitimately. But it would have to be like sold it wouldn't be sold like average Coca-Cola, it would have to be like, you get it at a specific retail area, and you're only 21 and up, or however that like regulation.
A liquor store,
yeah, it's like it's like a liquor store, like a state-regulated liquor store. It'll be like that essentially, So I mean, if that was the case, you could potentially bring it back, but we're not there yet. Getting there, but not there yet. We gotta deal. The marijuana thing needs to kind of get through fully, and I think Canada's jumping ahead on this on that game. But
there should be legal by June.
October. They're given time to have like businesses and stuff kind of get. Yeah.
That's when.
But it's officially passed. Yeah.
Oregon, you know, when they passed, they had to wait nearly 6 months.
Yeah, I think it's like it's like a 6 month
right
period. Yeah.
You gotta get your license and everything else.
Licenses, the property, and also just the time to get the bud growing. And I mean, I think when Oregon first legalized it recreationally, I think there was a shortage of bud. There was actually one state. I think actually, you know, I know California actually had a shortage once recreational came on. I think some places in California straight up had shortages of marijuana.
Well, that's sad.
I know. It's like, damn, you have to like travel miles and miles to go find hopefully like a dispensary that has bud if like all of them are selling out and shit. I mean, that's been the case here before, but never like bad, because I mean, you can go to just another dispensary and be like, oh, they got other selections. Okay, cool. I mean, just because one's out here don't mean all of them are, but I guess there was actual shortages and shit, which is crazy. But it just proves that everyone loves weed.
Hate it.
Hate it? Oh no, it was Colorado. Yeah, thanks for the correction. Colorado declared a state emergency because they were the ones who were out of bud. They had a shortage at one point, and they're like, we need like bud in here ASAP. Like, all the stoners are getting a little angry and frisky. It's like, bring them in.
You remember Colorado made a bunch of money off of
Oh yeah, I mean, Colorado's they have a surplus of money right now. I think they've straight up like have been giving money back to people, like, well, not like literally giving money back to people, but like in like the forms of like I get like, you know, like just like a general subsidy just to give back to people. I mean, because they have such a surplus, you know, they don't know what to do with all of it at this point. They're like, we're such a small state, we don't really need this much money. Here, everyone gets like a couple $100 here and there. Yay, be happy, everybody. I mean, that's kind of how they kind of went down with it. I think they just kind of looked at people's, you know, income rates and stuff, and it's like, all right, well, they're doing pretty good. You know, I'll give them a $100 little treat, and oh, you know, these guys probably need a little extra hand. Here's a little like
Just
300.
a couple ounces of weed and it'll be all right. I don't want the money.
Well, hey, I mean, well, the money gets you that couple ounces if you want. So, I mean, if you want, you can just go right back in the dispensary. So, you know, it all works out. Like, I mean, I think just because of, I wish Alabama will hop on the bud train. Oh, it will. I mean, whether it likes it or not, I mean, if it was like state by state, unfortunately I think Alabama will probably be like one of the last like 10 states to do so. But it will eventually. Like, there's just, I mean, the more states do it, the more popular it gets, because it's just more people are realizing how, you know, chill and fine it is, and how it's beneficial to people, and how there's been, like, in some cases, I think, like, decrease in traffic accidents and stuff like that, and also just even there's people who get, like, better performance at, you know, doing their careers and shit, just because they have a little bit of bud every now and then or whatever, or just every day, depending on their thing. I'm tired of being terrified by cops every time I deal with one. Oh my god. I mean, I just can't imagine that, dude. I mean, I really just couldn't. Like, I'm just such, like, a, quote, straight edge person that no cop will just ever really deal with me. I mean, who's gonna fuck with a white dude wearing just a nice white dress-up shirt, like, in a trilby fedora? Like, who's gonna, like, why would they fuck with me? What am I doing? I mean, but, but for anyone else, you know, like, especially if they got bud with them, I mean, sometimes I do too, every now and then, but very rarely. But, I mean, you know, like, even though I'm still underage, I still don't feel freaked out or nervous if if a cop stops me for any reason, but, you know, they don't normally. But it's just like, I just couldn't imagine that, man. It's, you know, and that stigma, like, hopefully, like, most people, like, I mean, if people want to know why people have such a bad view on cops, is because, you know, they crack down on the drugs they like to do and take and shit, you know? Like, so many people get busted for marijuana and everything. It's just like, I'm whiter than fuck, but I'm an obvious hippie, liberal type unless I'm wearing my MAGA hat. He actually gets discounts in Alabama for wearing his MAGA hat.
Huh.
Like, I mean, that's like how intense they are about the Trump over there. They would just like, you wearing a MAGA hat, you get like $20 off. Yeah. So it's like, oh, okay, damn. If you wore a MAGA hat here, you'd be exiled in some stores. I mean, I've seen it before. I've seen people wear MAGA hats here.
What's a MAGA hat?
It's Trump's signature "Make America Great Again" hat. It's the big fat red hat with just that signature little quote they has on there. But yeah, I mean those hats honestly look a little ridiculous, to be honest. They just look goofy on people, especially if they're just wearing something that doesn't fit with it at all because it's just so absurdly red. It just looks like a red pimple just on top of their head that just consumed their head. It's just like, what? I mean, whatever saves my money. Whatever saves me money. Hey, I mean, seriously, dude, like, whatever people say about, like, people who are, like, stingy about trying to save money and shit, it's just bullshit, dude. It's like they don't know how to save money. It's like, if there's options for you to save money, use them. Like coupons, you know, club deals at, like, your store or some shit like that, or, you know, just discounts and stuff like that. I mean, half-off aisles, you know, wearing something gets you discounts or whatever, you know. It's just like, take advantage of it. Take advantage of it all. You know, try to see if you can get a good deal at, you know, one of your local shops or whatever. Like, you know, I've actually, you know, have kind of bartered with head shops before, you know. It's like, you know, I kind of like this bowl instead of this one on there. Is there a way I could get a little, you know, discount on that bowl if I, you know, it's like, I've done stuff like that before and, you know, it's been alright. Live on $180 a month. I have to penny pinch or I'll have no money after a week. Seriously, man. I mean, that's what I mean why I have to, like, really sort out, you know, the finances before I actually invest into the show, because, I mean, I had to wait a little bit to even order these things after I checked them out. And, you know, because I had to make sure I had the funds at the time and, you know, I had at least a substantial amount of savings to at least continue bolstering that up, you know. So, I mean, it's just, you know, it's just about the timing of, you know, what I get going through my paychecks and shit, because sometimes it'll vary from like $250 a month for 1 week, but sometimes it'll be like $180 from 1 week. It just kind of depends, but it's bullshit for sure. It's like, can't I just, like, have a steady, comfortable, livable income for what I'm trying to do, especially with college? It's like, why do I have to, like, struggle so badly when I don't have to as much, especially when I'm trying to take care of people here as well, on top of that.
Welcome to life.
Yeah. I mean, I know life is supposed to come with struggles and shit. I mean, why else are we, like, you know... Like, why else does it happen? I mean, it's not that, you know, I'm saying, like, I don't lie or whatever, but, I mean, it could definitely... A lot of the struggles are definitely, like, in ways unnecessary struggles and shit. Like, when it comes to, like, mom's health and shit, and, I mean, even yours, too. I mean, I'm facepalm... Ugh, my girlfriend just called you a brainwashed globetard. I'm facepalming here. A brainwashed globetard? What? What did I even... What did I say to provoke that? What? Okay, then. Why? Explain? That's Alabama for you, I guess. I'm a brainwashed globetard. Okay. That's funny more than anything right now. I'm laughing at that. That's kind of funny. I'm taking pride in that. I'm gonna take pride in that just despite that. I'm too high for this shit, lol. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm a brainwashed globetard.
The shoe fits, wear it, man.
What the fuck? Oh my god, that's funny. That is so funny. I just have to laugh to that. I don't know what else. I don't know what to say to that. It's just funny. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, I need to collect myself. Fuck. Oh my god, that was too good. I can't stop smiling to that. The Earth ain't fucking flat. It's not flat. I know.
Yes, it is. Just drops off there somewhere.
It just drops off, yeah. We just have the ocean of waterfalls that just recycles somehow and keeps things going. Like, yeah. Yeah, like, totally. I mean, like, go on, like, okay. Have her volunteer for one of the, like, colonizations for the Mars mission. Make sure she's accepted. Like, do everything in your power to have her accept it.
She'll never come back.
Well, there's that, but also, make sure she's looking out the window as the rocket launches to space. And see if the Earth is flat then. Okay? Like, when you're looking out the window of a rocket leaving Earth, you're gonna kind of see that it's a little round.
It's always an illusion, though. It might be an illusion, you think, when the ship might be flat, you know?
The ship might be flat. Everything's flat. I'm flat. We're all flat. Oh my god. This reminds me of the Rick and Morty, this little Rick and Morty bit, where, space is a demonic illusion. That's also what she thinks, too. And it's not... What? How? Okay, literally, please. Try to explain how it is a demonic illusion. How is this little... Well, okay, for you, flat plane around this void of space a demonic illusion? With obviously other stars, a moon... a sun that also is with us, too, amongst the rest of them. And not only that, but there's also other planets I can invisibly see with my telescope outside. Like, everything doesn't conform to the Bible is of the devil. Oh my god.
What, did the Bible say it was flat or what?
The only, like, closest thing to it being saying it was flat was the world met at, like, 4 points. But I can take that as, like, the north, south, east, and west point, you know? She is super Baptist. I can tell. I mean, but for the most part, I mean...
Where does it say that the earth is flat in the Bible?
It never ever really gets into it, really. It just, the only time it's ever seriously mentioned is that the world meets at 4 points. But, again, I could just make that same interpretation with, like, the north, south, the east, and west. Like, eventually east and west meet at a point, because it, you know, it goes around. And then north and south poles.
Right. Yeah. No,
I mean, that's the.
I really don't think it's flat. I think it's round. I mean,
it's pretty. I mean,
not actually round. It's kind of odd shaped.
Yeah, it's a little. It's not like literally round, but if you're like orbiting it, it just looks round because of the atmosphere. It makes it conform like that. But if you like literally looked at it, it's a little. It is a little, slightly obligated. It's like, it has like the very faint like hair thing going on near the top of it. Like in the North Pole's a little kind of, it's pretty flat compared to the rest of the world, but I mean, it's not flat. It's like, this has been like, like, oh my god. She, like, just shove Carl Sagan's Cosmos in her face until she accepts reading it. Like, seriously, like, I have the book, I'll just shove it, like, the pages until she's done reading it. Like, I'll do that right now. Like, I have
on an adventure and basically start from the flat end of the Earth into the other flat of the Earth, and that way she know.
Like, it was even disproven with, like, bro, we are kidding. We have been hardcore trolling you. Oh, were you? Oh, you've been doing some trolling on? Oh, you got me, dude. Are you, okay, are you, oh wait, are you doing like a reverse psychology troll now? She's it's like me. Oh, okay. I was just about to say, fam, you got me though. You got me. I believe. I mean, you're in Alabama, so you got me. But damn, I mean, I don't hold it against people to believe that shit though. But damn, got him, got him. Or did you? I don't know. You're making me really double. Oh my. You're like, you're playing with my head. Damn, dude. You're trying to get in my head. What are you doing, sir? Can't get in my head. Get out of my head. Questioned everything.
Oh. What's a crack?
That wasn't a crack, it was just that. Question everything. I do. But, to be honest, I legitimately did not... I did not, like, even, like, think about that being, like, not, like, a troll. Like, damn. I generally thought that, like, you were being serious. I'm not lying, dude. I'm like, whoa. Now you got me like, whoa. Breaking my brain now, dude. Ugh. Like, I was hoping it was true because I wanted to just rant, but now I feel like... Which has been asserted without evidence can be dismissed without evidence. Well, Alabama was my evidence, so, I mean, at least I had an assumption with at least a little bit of, like, knowledge of your region, so, I mean... Bit ahead of bed now?
Yeah.
Alrighty. I'll put that away for you two later in a minute. Aaron Raw taught me that. I think that was also, if I remember right, Richard Dawkins also has said that before too, which is kind of where I've heard that from.
Oh!
Don't hurt yourself now. Oh, well. You have a good night, everybody. Good night. Ugh. Now we're back in the captain's sight. Is my mind. Where's my mind? You broke it. You broke my mind. Here is my... That's why I also like Clyde. He actually has like really cool intermission segments like that. Not Lars. You, sir, are a fruit. Boom! Just like that, you're a fruit. Do you like Five Nights at Freddy's? No, honestly. Dude, when I was in high school, my girlfriend was super into it, and her and I had like a heavy debate where, since you're a furry, out of all the things I wish to yiff in hell in eternal fire pits, it's FNAF. It's that. It's that. Like, it's just like the premise of the game itself seems kind of cool. Like a haunted fucking, you know, amusement pizza thing. Like, I kind of enjoy that premise. Like, the original one I thought was okay. But it kept you locked in one spot, which I'm just like, didn't really like too much. There was also, the hype over it, I think, is what really shitty games aside, the lore is pretty deep. Yeah, like, I think the lore of it's actually interesting. Like, I don't put that past him, or whoever the guy did it. I think his name was, like, Scott something. But I don't put the lore of the whole game series behind it. Like, I think it's actually a pretty good story and lore to use. I thought it was pretty interesting, you know? But I just thought the game itself was just, like, it just seems like a standard horror game of jump scares and shit. I mean, at the time I was kind of into it, but like after 2 months I just got really sick of it because I started kind of seeing how it's kind of, you know, lame and really. But overall, like, I think the lore of it's pretty cool, but the games themselves I don't really like. And the fucking fandom for it isn't just intolerable. Like, I'm like, there's unbearable, then there's like intolerable, and it's just like the fan art and shit, and then like the fucking like Rule 34 of it's just full cancer. It's just like, why? Like, it skews every now and then in there for me. You know, when I'm trying to look at, you know, some specifics, it's just like the fandom is Rick and Morty level toxic. See, I don't even I think it's more toxic than that, because I think while I'm not in the fandom of Rick and Morty, I love Rick and Morty. Like, I love the show. I mean, I would consider myself a pretty big fan of it, but I'm not, like, you know, active in the fandom, but someone can mistake me as such because I love the show and shit. But, like, to me, they're not super toxic, but just kind of, you know, a lot of them are just kind of assholes and shit, because they think because the show kind of has, like, an asshole as a character, Rick, in a way, you know, this drunken douchebag, if you look at it, you know, I guess for some reason in their mind that makes it acceptable to be that way, which is just like, it's a good show and shit, but you don't have to, like, literally mimic a character, like, as your life. I mean, you could do a little better than that. But with FNA, like, I mean, they're a younger audience for one, too. That's for sure. And also, it's just like, anyone I interact with who just loves it so much is in that young audience, and it's just, they're just emotional. Like, if you say anything negative about it, they're all just, like, uptight and wad. It's like, oh my god, chill the fuck out. It's like, it's just a game. Like, there are horror games that, I can't name off my head because I haven't really played any horror genre-based games, but, like, one of them, I would say The Forest is a pretty good survival horror, because you're on an island full of cannibalistic tribe members and shit you have to fight off while surviving. So, I mean, that's a really cool premise of a horror-based game, you know? That's something I enjoy. I mean, there's a lot of, like, Alien Isolation, that's another good one. What's another one? Like, I'm blanking on the name of it. It's a space horror game that it has a similar premise to Alien. I'm blanking on the name of it, though. But it's not it. It's, fucking hell. Dead Space. Yes, Dead Space. Like, that's another really good horror game I think is really good. Yeah, I don't know why I blanked on Dead Space, but I did. But, yeah, like, I think that's pretty interesting. I haven't really played it that much at all. I haven't played the first one. I did the second one a little bit at a friend's place once. But, yeah, I mean, overall, I think there are better horror games that can be opened up to instead, like, besides, like, FNAF, because I think that's just really cliche at this point, honestly. But, I mean, the story of it's pretty cool, but I think he probably could have done a lot better with the story he had. Like, I think if you were able to, like, roam around, or you were a kid at the place, and then, you know, you were locked there, and you had to escape, and you realized the fucking place is haunted and shit, like, that would have been a really cool premise for it, or the security guy in there was able to roam around and shit, you know, patrol the place and stuff amongst the thing. You know, like, that would have been a really interesting premise as well, I think. I mean, there's just ways the game could have been way better, honestly. Like, if it was done better, I mean, I can't even say how you could have. Like, I could pull out, you know, ideas out of my ass, but that's about the best I can do about it. But, I mean, yeah, like, I don't know how you could have made it better, but I just think the game could have gone a lot better, honestly. I mean, the way it went was just, didn't like it. I mean, for somehow, good story idea, but shit execution. Yep, basically. Like, kind of like how No Man's Sky went. Like, it's a great premise of how to do a game, especially of how it advertised itself. But then when it came out, it was just a shitty execution. They should have waited a few years to actually make sure the game was fucking done, or at least has the main core points that they were advertising. You know, say, hey, well, we got at least the core of what we're advertising, but understand we're in, like, late alpha, and we're, you know, releasing it now because we at least got what we got advertising, so hopefully people can at least add constructive criticism instead of just shitting on it because it's a shit game. I mean, I hear it's better now because they're actually upholding their updates and shit, so at least that's good. But, I mean, the way No Man's Sky started was kind of similar to DayZ in a way. I don't know if you know about DayZ, but I used to play DayZ a lot and I loved it. But the new update and going to beta is supposed to, you know, kind of make it a comeback, which it looks promising. I ain't gonna lie, but they procrastinated. Development was shit. Months went by without even updates, and it fell out, and it had a falling out because it was just like I was in the DayZ standalone alpha. So was I. Like, I was in. Not in the very beginning, but I would say I think 4.2 is where I started, and then I wasted $60 fucking. I waited until it got a little cheaper, and then they boosted the price up again. So I think I waited for the best optimal point. But I still have the game, but I'm gonna wait until beta comes out, play it again, especially when I get a PC upgrade. And if it's actually good, and it gets my review of like, hey, this game is actually kind of good again, I'll probably even do streams of doing that game. You know, I probably wouldn't be like talking with you guys as much, but you'll at least see me surviving, and surviving out in Chernobyl or some shit. You know, but I mean, I just went back to Armor 3. Yeah, I mean, my computer just was barely able to handle Armor 3 when I had it. So I still have the game. I have a bunch of mods for it, but at least in the current state of my computer, it won't play it for sure. But I'm gonna get back into these type of games again. because try Arma 2. I have Arma 2. That one actually runs okay. And I love Arma 2. I mean, I even have, like, I think I have all the expansions, Operation Arrowhead, Armies of the Czech Republic, I think was the one where it gave you, like, scenarios to play and shit, with Czech forces, which is pretty cool. Because I was able to, like, because I did, like, this, Arma 2 is what got me into DayZ. Same here, dude. Like, I think the Arma 2 DayZ mod was the optimal, like, I don't know, like, I get why they wanted to make their own engine for the game, but I feel like if they had worked on, like, an engine first, essentially, that was based off the foundations of that Arma 2 DayZ mod engine, combine it together and make it on their own, I think it probably would have been a little better at the start. And then just foundationalize it from there. I mean, because you can tell that a lot of that DayZ engine that it has now is, you know, related towards that Arma engine. You can see the roots of it. But, I mean, I feel like they could have probably implemented a little bit more of the Arma engine and shit without, like, actually literally making it look like Arma. Because it's definitely not right now. Like, the way it is, it's definitely its own unique engine and game, which is how it should have started anyway, which is what I'm saying. It should have implemented both of those into one engine for their own engine and build up from there and, you know, build upon it. And upgrade it, do updates throughout alpha instead. Okay, I got a request before you leave for you to do a hair flip. Did you ever play Kingdom Come Deliverance? I haven't, actually. I don't have that game. Though, I would love to get it, though. It looks cool. It looks cool, but I just know that my PC is shit right now, so I just can't do it. But eventually, I'll most likely get that game. Like, the number one game I'm on my list to buy is Kenshi right now. I want to get Kenshi, dude. I want to fucking bring back Slinky Sills. It's harder than Dark Souls. You know, actually, you know, come to think of it, no, I have the game Life is Feudal, Your Own. Like, I have that game. I don't have Kingdom Come Deliverance, but I have Life is Feudal, which is hard as fuck, too. Alright, Joe, you want me to do a hair flip? For you to do a hair flip. I will be doing a hair flip. Okay. Until you get the combat system down. Hey, I would love to try out. It's quite easy. Oh, yeah. I mean, I love it when a combat system's hard because, that, you know, it's complex and you can do so much with it. But, because complexity is the best. Are you happy? I've always loved my Doom. 1, 2, 3, Ultimare. Oh, I love Doom, dude. Every now and then, I just have to, like, find, like, some way to, like, play the classic Doom. And then I just play it every now and then. I just love Doom. Yes, I'm happy. Good sir. Good sir. I please thee. When super chats come in, now only requests will be done with money. Not really. But I don't know how I'll do super chats, because just learn your combos, then you don't have to beat up on your enemies. Sweet. Yeah, but I don't know how I'm going to do super chats. Like, I know I want to get that set up, but I know during the, like, when we get the main podcast show going, I know that super chats aren't going to be, like, prevalent to do, to that. But with everything else, it would. But I wouldn't want to get spammed with super chats or some shit, you know what I mean? Like, while doing our show, but I don't know how I'll work it out. Maybe I'll do, like, a segment where I just, like, say something in between, like a little pause or something like that. You need to do them someday. Well, I need to wait until I get at least 1,000 subscribers before I'm eligible, so I have to wait a while. I have to wait a little bit, but once it becomes eligible for me, I will definitely get it set up. Then you can just run, run through a sword with chests with most enemies. Nice. Yeah, that game sounds dope. In fact, I think I might check out some gameplay of that. One game I want to fucking get is Mountain Blade Bannerlord, dude. I want to get the new Mountain Blade that's coming out, dude. Bannerlord looks fucking amazing. Like, I love Mountain Blade Warband, but Bannerlord, oh, that looks glorious. Oh my god, when Bannerlord comes out, you can guarantee I'm playing that. And you can guarantee there's going to be some streams of that. If I end up doing, like, gaming streams more often than I'm realizing, when's that releasing? I actually don't know right now. I haven't checked up on any development of that game, but If I find out when it's being released, I will let you know, dude. Because, oh, like, if there's one game I am hyped for, it's Mountain Blade Bannerlord, dude. I love Mountain Blade. I just love Mountain Blade. I just can't, there's nothing else I can say besides I just love Mountain Blade. The community is cancer as fuck, but that's what I love about it, dude. If you're on multiplayer, it's beautiful. It's like cancer, but beautiful, dude. Everyone's a troll. Everybody's a troll in their own right, dude. I love it. I hope the combat gets better. Mountain Blade combat can be ridiculous. That's what I love about it, dude. That's what I love about Mountain Blade. The combat looks ridiculous, but there is gameplay of like a raid, a siege, and dude, it looks insane. Like, it's just a placement, of course, so it might not be final, but the combat, I mean, it looks similar to all Mountain Blade combat, but it looks good, dude. It looks really good. Like there's like the actual like hits you're doing and shit actually look like it has an effect, and you know, people don't die fucking ridiculously. Getting speared by a spear that clearly missed you. Yeah, honestly, I just love Mountain Blade for the ridiculousness of it. I mean, that's what I love about that's just what I love about the game. It's just ridiculous and hilarious, like especially on multiplayer. I've been on so many different multiplayer games, like doing sieges or just straight battles, where it's just the most ridiculous clusterfuck I've ever seen in my life. Like, people would just be surrounded, and they would have the most deformed look to face ever because they're scrunched them down or made them white as fuck or some shit with messing with the customization. And they're all just got ridiculous names. It's just so... In single player, it's grindy as fuck to do anything. That's true. It is. Like, especially when it comes to, like, getting money. Like, when it comes to getting money, it's hard, dude. You're like, what do you... Like, because what I normally have to try to do if I don't have cheats enabled, because sometimes I do, just to be like a god among men right off the bat, because fuck it. But, if I'm not doing that, then what I do is I try to just, like, I'll pick, like, a side I know I don't like. Like, for example, Mountain Blade Warband, I would probably go fuck up the Swadians or some shit. I got to the point founding a kingdom without cheats once. Oh, I did too. Like, I mean, I invested so much time in Mountain Blade when I was able to play it and shit. It was glorious to have my own rebel kingdom. Oh, I know, isn't it great? Like, one of my most favorite campaigns, I was kind of like I was like the son of Ragnar. I decided to kind of take a weird story turn with it. But he exiled me, and then I fucking found the guy who you can go to rebel against the Nords, and then I started persuading like half of the Nordic Empire, or the Kingdom of the Nords. Like, I was able to persuade half of them, because at the same time, I was befriending a lot of them. Like, I had a lot of diplomacy involved in this. Like, I did tasks for them. I was their bitch boy for like 2 months in the game just to win all these guys over. And when I did... it was a glorious takeover, dude. I became the Kingdom of the Nords, dude. I took my fucking throne. And then we fucked up the Swadians right after that. Like, like, I didn't totally wipe out the, Kingdom of the Nords. What I did was, I isolated them into one town. And it was just, like, King Ragnar and then, like, 2 other lords with them. And at the same time, I was trying to persuade them a little bit. Every option possible. Went back every now and then. And they were so weak, they couldn't even fuck with me. Like, I had lords over there just chilling, doing their thing. And I was doing a campaign into Swadia at this point. Like, I was fucking shit up, dude. And this was without cheats, too. It's been my I named the Soviet Socialist Republic of Swadia. I pulled most of the Swadian kingdom on my side. Yeah, I mean, what I did was I called it the Calradian Union. So I kind of I called it the Calradian Peasant Union. I think that was the full name of it. And it was meant to, it was kind of like, and my philosophy for the game was like, I'm trying to, you know, bolster up the peasantry so everyone can live comfortably and shit, and have a prosperous kingdom and shit, and actually have a prosperous Calradia for everybody. Because this kingdom monarchy bullshit is fucked. But, ironically, I'm the king of it, bitch. So it's just like, you know, it was kind of, I had a fun little interesting gameplay. I mean, I think the last time I played it was I was trying to have like kind of like a relationship with the Rodox for a little bit, because I think the lore with them, if I remember right, was kind of somewhat similar. Like they were kind of more tribal based and more like village based, kind of villages uniting as one, if I remember right, with their lore. But I can't be. But I got butt fucked by 4 kingdoms, damn near instantly declaring war. Yeah, I've had that. Yeah, if I remember right, I had before I did the Swadian campaign, I had to deal with Vagers or the Vagers or whatever you call them, because they straight up like declared war on my ass near instantly after I made peace with the Nords. It was like they just waited after we kind of fucked up each other. And dude, it was like brutal. Like they did not surrender or did not declare peace for any reason for like, I think 6 months in the game. It was a long fucking fight. And it was like a stalemate most of the time, because they were actually kind of a significant force. Like, they were fucking up the Karen and Kaunat. Like, they fucked them up. They've been gaining territory there, because they were also having a war with them. Like, they were the Hitler of my game. They were like conquering everything, and I was like the Stalin of the game. I'm like, unite the peasantry, deal with fascists. Kill fascists! Like, that was my memo, basically. But eventually, because it was just so brutal, they finally were like, yeah, fuck it, we're done. So they made peace, and then after that, I had to recover for like 2 months to actually go after the Swadians, and we just... They're like the biggest bitches ever and the easiest to kill, so I mean, it wasn't that hard. Like, their man-at-arms are, like, the only ones that I would consider actual threats, because they're actually pretty well armored. But other than that, they suck. It's great. I found that if I went in with the armies, I lost less men. Yeah. What I normally did was I generally just, like, bolstered up, like, my infantry with just Nordic warriors and shit. And, I kind of had, I was kind of befriending a few of the Khanat's tribal, warlords and stuff, just so I could kind of at least go over there without any issues, because we were at war with the Vizhers at the time, so I mean, we were able to do so. I helped them out with battles and shit, so we had a mutual, friendship going. So I recruited a bunch of horse archers, and they were my archery, and it worked out really good. Like, having archers just surround, like, horsemen and just, fucking pelt them with arrows and shit. It didn't have a few Nordic, like, fucking warriors who just will take any blunt force in their face, like, at all times. Like, it worked out. It didn't, I mean, it's great. You pull a huge army together with your generals, and you can just stand where you spawn and let the AI deal with them. Yeah, that's what I do. I just, whenever I had united fronts, I usually just, what I normally did was I would let my army chill, but I would go forward. I would just, I want my XP, bitch. I'm getting XP. I'm gonna get much as XP I can soak out of it. So, while there's like a fat army of, the Khan's forces or whatever charging into battle, or my own warlords are going into battle, I would straight up just let them do the fighting, and I would join in, because, I want to at least boost the morale of my men, while they're all sitting there getting drunk while they watch me fight. So, that works. And, yeah, I mean, I just love the game, dude, and I can't wait until Bannerlord comes out. Ooh, can't wait. That's the only game I'm hyped about, honestly. That's the only game I'm hyped about. I don't know what other game I'd be hyped about right now. Like, yeah, that's the only game I can think about. Maybe the beta for DayZ, but I am really holding back on that before anything. So even that, no. Just lead an elite group of rangers so they can arrow fuck them. Oh, I've done that too. I did when I was first starting out as it was Ignar Ragnarson. This is the character's name throughout this whole gameplay. At first, I kind of decided to try out archery for a little bit, because I was like, hey, I haven't done this before, really. So, I had, like, a large, band of ruffian archers at first, and then when that came, and then whenever I ran out of arrows, I would just flip out my axe and just start going ham. That's what I would do. Either it was, like, a one-handed or two-handed, or, like, both capable. Because, for some reason, I just fucking love axes in that game. It just does a lot of damage, I don't know. To me, I'm always comfortable with an axe, and then whenever needed, throw some arrows down range. But yeah, like it was. I just love it. Oh, you lead a rebellion for usurper, not for yourself. You can be king. Yeah, that's what I did. That's why I was the leader of the Calradian peasantry union or some shit like that. And it was great. Like I had Lothbrok, whatever the fuck dude's name was, Farseeker, that was meant to kind of be the prominent throne leader. So you can, but I kind of was like, nah, I kind of want to be. I mean, we're forming our own union here. We're gonna form a true union of Calradia instead of these kingdoms and shit. Feudals, nay, I say not. I say we have open village markets and cooperatives so we can barter and trade with fellow villagers and shit, and they barter for it with the elders counseling amongst the rest. Communist! Communist! See my smoke as I breathe communism. Yeah, I mean, I know you couldn't like literally put like a political philosophy instilled into a game, but like Mountain Blade, but it's kind of fun to at least kind of fantasize that's how you're running a place. Neo-Marxist, postmodernist, nihilist. Oh no, I don't want no Jordan Peterson cultists coming in. That would be bad. What time is it actually? Oh damn, it's almost midnight. Shit. I gotta go to the bathroom really quick actually. So here, let's listen to this crazy nutball while I go to the bathroom. I'm wondering, by the way, I feel about hair on guys. I'm becoming a novice furry at my age. Uh-oh. Well, it's not like hair on dudes, but I mean, like, furries are just, like, anthropomorphic beings that are, like, imagine me with, like, a head of, like, a husky or some shit and tail of a husky, and then, like, depending on what you like best, bipedal legs or just regular demi legs, you know. I'd fucking go in fursuit. I'm gonna admit that too. I don't give a fuck. I'd do it with one on too. I don't give a shit. I'm not a furry though. Oh, well. Well then. Well, I am, so I'm into that. I'm just gonna admit it. I don't care. I think the last time I had a drink on stream, I was like, "Hey Carl, I remember the question you asked last stream. How I felt the mersuits. And I want to say I get a lot of little giggity with it." And I think I did that or something. I don't know what exactly I did, but it answered the question. So yeah, I love hentai too. I'm not a big fan of it myself. I don't know. For me, like, I'm not like picky when it comes to like my like porn selections, but you know. Like, when it comes to, like, over-embellishing or, like, super cartoony or, like, animated, like, I'm not a big fan of those as much to more, like, realistic-style drawings or, like, more, at least, like, a sense of realism or some shit. I don't know. Like, I never got into that as much as, like, it's, you know, a more semi-realistic type of, like, drawing that seems more, I don't know. I never got really into the hentai myself. But I mean, I ain't gonna stop people. I enjoyed the Japanese anime board. Yeah, I never got into it myself. Ain't gonna stop people from watching though. I don't give a fuck. I mean, I've seen worse. I really have seen worse. Hentai is like nothing compared to like a lot of other things. But yeah, I'm gonna take this hit really quick and go to the bathroom. Western animated porn is kind of weird. A little bit. I've seen a few, like, good, like, drawings of, like, Wild West themed porn and shit, but, at least furry related, too. But it ain't too bad, but, I mean, you know, it's not my forte. Like, I mean, what would be my forte? Like, I don't really have, like, a forte of, like, a theme, really, but, like, if, like, the setting of whatever's there is, you know, fits with it, then, you know, I can get with it, I guess. But, I mean, I guess it just kind of depends on that the theme of like what it's like in. If it's in like some weird fucking cartoon land or some shit, I'm not gonna be about that. It's like, what the fuck? If it's like in the forest, I can actually dig that. I mean, sex in the forest sounds awesome. Honestly, being like out in nature, no shit's given. You're just, you know, just out there in nature. You know, doing what nature does. Fucks and repopulates and makes more life. So there you go. Just doing what a fucking chipmunk is doing, like down the creek. Most very porn cartoon style, though. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of artists that do it cartoony, but also implement the realism in it. Like, they might have kind of like a cutesy, cartoony looking face and eyes, but like for the most part, like their whole body or something like that won't be. Like, it'll be like a pretty like realistic like interpretation of like a female body and stuff. Like, I'm not really into like the super cartoony. Like, I mean, it like the face and shit doesn't really matter. You're not a brony, are you? Oh my god, no. No. Like, I like anthropomorphic mares and stallions and shit, but not ponies. No. Ugh. No. I'm not gonna pervert such a fucking show. Like, I'm not like against them, but ugh. Thank Christ, yeah, dude. I find him to be cringier the most. Not the most cringiest, but cringier the most. Like I would say they're you know, I would say that you know, the most hardcore bronies are probably just as bad as the most hardcore FNAF fans and shit. I wouldn't say that they're probably equally toxic, but I think bronies probably take the cake. I mean, there's probably a good debate in there, but I think bronies take the cake. Because that's a children's show, mind you. With children's characters, and if fucking a girl, like if some kid is looking up, you know, hey, I want to look up, you know, Applejack or something. And they fucking looking up, and they actually stumble on Applejack fucking slamming his fat horse dick inside a Rainbow Dash or something. I don't know. That might just not... I have more respect for FNAF as a series. I do too, honestly. Like, I get where the show's meant to go be targeted as an audience. I said that weirdly. Targeted as an audience. There we go. I mean, I can see who is meant to be targeted towards, and I can at least respect that, but I don't even know how dudes got into the show. Like, thank fuck I don't have to ever watch it, because I don't know anyone who watches it, like, as kids or anything, but it's just a kid's show through and through. And I know there's Rule 34 of all sorts of cartoons and shit, but what the fuck? I'm getting a phone call right now. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. Well, I can't do anything about that. We're gonna get we're getting buzzes. Buzz. Anyway, I gotta go to the bathroom anyway, so I'll go check that out anyway. Also been going out for a while. I think I might just wrap it up, actually. Alright. Well, I think I might as well actually just wrap it up anyway, because I have to go back. I'm probably going to get some food. But I'll probably be on tomorrow, so stay tuned and peace out, everybody. Bye-bye, bitches.